What's good, everybody? This is DJ Torch. Welcome to tonight's live stream. We're going to have some fun. For everybody who caught it on the playback, we can have some fun. Let me kick the beat.
Yeah. Lune. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber.
Right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because
no vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. De corazón.
All right.
De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. De corazón. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Money work. Money work. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money.
All right. Saturday night. I'm gonna get you warmed up with a little bit of some court action. We're gonna start off with a little bit of Wookiees and Ways. Peace. Here we go.
court is calling 2024 CR 3624, State of Texas versus Ramsey Ibrahim. Can I have the parties announced? State defense.
Andrew Fralick.
And are you Mr. Ibrahim? Mr. Ibrahim, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with theft of service as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine.
If you
Counsel,
don't
Mr.
know
Clyde.
already who it is, this is Judge Boyd breaking it down till they get down. She is famous. There are hundreds of people that record her. I mean, she is to, what should I say? She is getting to phone calls from prison kind of attention. Let's put it that way. Here we go.
I've been able to provide you with any defenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the plea bargain agreement with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Shout out to Deontay. Deontay, good seeing you, my man. All right, let's keep this rolling. Here we go.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. They are taking in consideration 2024 PF 20169. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense is
Failure to ID. That's interesting. Angela Raddick in the house. Here we go.
at the plea.
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. Did you understand that that was a recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I can't
State
hear
any
what you're
evidence.
saying, no.
No objections.
All right, state, you may be excused. Court will
Okay, so right now, everything seems to be going smooth, right? He's gonna get his little hustle for whatever failure to ID, whatever that means. And the attorney seems very, 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 very relaxed right now. Everything's going the way he thinks it should go. Here we go.
accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We have PSI, Your Honor. Yes, proceed with sentencing.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just what I've said earlier, Judge, we've done all the upfront restitution in this case. So we'd ask the court to follow the agreement to give him deferred adjudication.
All right, the court will sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
Some cards.
All right, proof
So basically, it's like this. If he gets deferred adjudication means you don't have to go to jail. But if you mess up, you have to go to jail.
of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits one
Wait,
time.
let me see this for a minute. Backstory, he ran the same con in 2014 and his case was dismissed after he paid restitution in full, which means that whoever scammed him or caused him harm, whoever he scammed, he paid back in full.
Time per month for 3 months. 200 hours of community service restitution. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
Is there any mental health
Yeah, he seems so dweeby, you know what I mean?
issues or anything of that nature?
Yeah.
All right, probation. I'm going to order the theft course.
That theft course.
Probation, is there anything else?
Oh
Is there
man.
anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right. All right, just go report to probation and I'll go over conditions with you.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
4 months later.
Yes.
That's not good if you're showing up 4 months later after you're on, 3 years, whatever adjudication. Let's see what happens.
Hello. All right, how are you doing
Oh
today?
shit, look y'all. Look, he got some extra jewelry on there. He got some extra jewelry on there, Not the kind, it ain't the kind you want though.
Be honest.
I'm just,
That's fine.
all right. All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 3624, State versus Ramsey Ibrahim. Can I have the parties announce for the record?
Andrew Harris Edelman for the state.
And Andrew Fraley, Mr. Graham.
And are you Mr. Ibrahim?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
No, I didn't.
Did you understand it?
No.
Are you the same Ramsey Ibrahim who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2024 CR 3624 for the offense of theft of service $2,500 to $30,000 on December 3rd, 2024 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am. I didn't.
That's him. That's him. You know, this is going to be a problem. What do you do now? What do you do now?
All right, state.
On or about the 10th day of February 2025 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Ramsey Ibrahim did then and there fail to conduct himself in a proper and orderly manner when reporting to the supervision officer at the Bear County Community Supervision and Corrections Department in violation of Commission Number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
It's unfortunately true.
I'm sorry, I
it's
can't
true.
hear.
It's true.
True. All right.
State waives the remaining violation allegations, Judge.
No objections.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
No, Judge.
State, what are you requesting?
Adjudicate guilt, revoke supervision, assess punishment, 2 years of confinement in the state jail facility.
Uh-oh. He doesn't like that. Miss Alto in the house. Good seeing you. He doesn't like that. I could tell. I can tell.
And defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, we're requesting my client to be given another opportunity and allowed to continue his probation. My client. will
What, allowed to continue his scams? Is that what you want him to do? Allowed to continue his scams. See, this is when you become fraudulent, you can end up in jail.
like to address the point. Ramsey?
So after the incident happened, I came to court and I was found, guilty of the,
You pled no contest.
Pled no
and you were
contest.
placed on probation.
well, after that incident, I lost my job and then I've been seeing a therapist, a psychiatrist. Before all of this, I've had pretty severe depression and anxiety.
Judge, may I talk to my client for just a moment?
Shut the hell up, man. You're
There's
messing
no
it up.
justifying
You're messing it
the
up.
attitude that I had to, the things that I
All right,
said.
so what happened?
I lashed out by,
How?
by
He said he lashed out. What he did is he crashed out, y'all. He crashed out. Here we go.
by just not. I used a lot of. I was cursing, but not the officer at the situation. I was just
Any
venting.
objections to the court review of the court summary?
If my client could be allowed to apologize before the court reviews the court summary?
No, I want to review the court summary because then I can have
I know.
more information about what's going on because he's not
Mhm.
telling me everything.
I wrote an email.
Mhm.
I wrote an
No,
email.
no. Any objections to the court review and the court summary?
Can she see it or not?
I approach Judge, and you
Yes.
don't already have a copy.
It's sent by email, and what I will tell attorneys, I receive emails from Officer Abrams, TAP evaluations, the PSIs, but I don't read them or open them until I ask both parties if they have any objections to my reviewing it, because I know it's hearsay. So since defense counsel doesn't have any objections, I am going to open the court summary and let me read it, and then I'll let you continue. All right.
If my client could be allowed to continue?
Yes.
First of all,
Why you seeking knowledge in the house? Good to see you.
foremost, I apologize so much, so sincerely for the outrageous stuff that I said. I was-
He's so fake, man. He's so fake. That is the weakest apology I've ever heard in my life.
Just, I was in a really low
I've heard worse, but hey,
spot, and
But according to the court summary, and let me explain something to everybody. I understand that people have, sometimes they're angry at their situation. Sometimes they don't want to accept responsibility for their situation. I understand that, right? So, but according to the court summary, they're saying that this isn't the first time that they've had an issue with you.
and that's basically the only
so
notable
he
time.
lashed out at a court clerk? Way to go, man. Way to go. I mean, that's the smartest thing you could do. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say this, but it is the way it is. Clerks and judges and officers, they all know each other. And it's like going to get around that maybe you're not very nice and maybe you shouldn't be around, you know, on the streets. I'm just saying. So it's funny to see this person, this Wandit, doing this.
I'm at work.
Well, no, not only notable time. I'm just telling you what they say. This is what it says. It says, this is not an isolated incident. He has consistently exhibited defiance towards his probation officer and field officers, refusing to comply with basic probation requirements and making it clear that he has no intention of changing his behavior. So that's before the letter. That's what that seems to imply
That
to
ain't
me,
good, folks.
that this isn't the first time. So they have the letter, and they're saying that when field visits are conducted, it's the same,
Man,
similar things.
okay, so like again, I'm very, very sorry. And this won't happen again, but as
If you haven't noticed, he doesn't mean it.
far as the field visits were concerned, I was thrown into agitation when the officer came.
No,
Hold on.
it's fine. I'm just trying to figure out what's happening.
I understand, Judge. What my client is saying.
No, what he's saying is what his client isn't saying, but he's trying to, but the lawyer's trying to make it sound like he is saying it because he knows that she knows. The lawyer knows, the judge knows this dude is a problem.
Before this motion to revoke was filed, before he came and talked to me, I don't think he really had a full understanding of what he was looking at and what the court may end up doing today.
He must be in his 40s. How do you not understand?
After I talked to him and after I really informed him of what he was looking at, and what the court might do, and after hearing Mr. Edelman say what they're requesting,
Mhm.
I think you can see my client's attitude has shifted.
It has not shifted. He's faking it like it. He's acting.
Mhm.
I want what Ramsey was talking about, Judge, is he had a bad attitude. He just played true to a condition that I've never seen on an NCR before, of just not fail to report, not the rest of it, but fail to conduct himself in a properly and orderly manner. He's pled true to that. He's accepted responsibility for that, and he has promised that he's going to make a change. I think that since I have had the opportunity to talk to him about realistically what he's looking at, should he not, in the rest of his 3 years of probation and the conviction and the 2 years day for day,
Mhm.
that his attitude has shifted in a remarkable way. He is willing to apologize to each one of those officers if he's offended, apologize to the court, apologize to the prosecutor if need be. I just want to make sure that the court understands and sees his change in attitude. That's why we're here, is his attitude is poor. Was.
I sincerely mean my apology.
All right, so my question is, I'm back to my question. So it's stated in the court summary, this is not an isolated incident. So when they say it's not an isolated incident, I'm taking that to mean the email that you sent, right? So let's not even talk
Wow,
about
it's
the
in the
email.
email.
So they're saying you have consistently exhibited defiance towards his probation officer and field officers. And the field officers are the people that go out
Told
to
you.
see you, because I require that their field visits.
See,
And actually, your probation, I don't do cookie cutter probations. Your attorney will tell you that.
That's true.
Your probation that I gave to you, in the big scheme of things, the conditions that I've given people, it wasn't that much. You didn't even have restitution to pay because I guess people received their items,
So,
but you were only 3 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular.
I could tell you right now, he's about to crash out. I wish they would let him crash out, because then that's when the truth comes out.
Random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days, field visits one time for 3 months, and 200 hours of community service restitution and theft course. That's all.
just a second.
Yes.
Sorry, Judge. What my client is concerned about is that yesterday
Mhm.
he made a payment to pay off his community service hours.
Okay. Oh, no, that's fine.
Again, that's what he's trying to say. And you're looking for a job,
And the restitution, I think,
you pay the restitution in full before the plea judge.
Yes.
That was part of
Okay.
this, as plea bargain, he did pay the restitution
Alright.
up front. That's why it's not a probation
Mm-hmm.
condition. So, and again, in this past week, I want to make sure I got it.
that's how the
He has registered for the theft class. He has paid his community service hours off in full.
What's a theft class? I gotta look into that.
He has reported here today. He has apologized for his behavior. I think that in the past week since this MTR was issued, he's gotten the message.
All right. And how old are you?
And
40? Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
I want to give you one opportunity, just sure what we talked about. So, go ahead and address the board.
Yes, I'd like just to reiterate, once more that, I mean, I am honestly sorry for having offended everyone there. I've, spoken ill of. And the attitude, I mean, you're gonna see a complete difference of everything going forward. If you just please give consideration to allowing me to just get back on track, and I'll make good on the conditions.
He's so full of, I'm
Absolutely.
sorry, folks. I got to say, he's so full of shit. I mean, I have to put it out there, because you can just tell the way he's talking and the amount of energy that's in his voice, that he's just basically saying whatever he was either coached or is trying to make up on the fly. But it is not the truth. He is not speaking his truth. He is definitely not keeping it real. I know that keeping it real can go wrong, but this is just, and I know everybody can see through this.
I was just frustrated with the situation, and I lashed out.
All right. So let me explain something to you. So now let's get to the letter that you wrote. It takes a lot to send an email to somebody.
Right, exactly. It sure does. That I agree with. You have to take the time to write an email. By most times, most people would have cooled off before sending it, or didn't send it at all. Now, I know some people who were stupid enough to send the email anyway, but you see where I'm coming from. Here we go. Well, lashing out is like, your temper just blows up and you lash out, which still isn't good, but at least it's more instantaneous. If you're actually sitting down and typing an email, when you write, that's why people always like it when you write or type something, because it's you're connecting with your brain back and forth. You're being more conscientious. And by that time, hopefully logic kicks in. Here we go.
And what you said is, I'm literally cast aside and blacklisted on the same level as effing rapists, pedophiles, and effing real felons. You're in felony court. Sometimes people think that, oh, I'm not like other people who are charged with crime. And then you say, I hope a prison convict breaks out rampage rapes all the aforementioned and give them AIDS. takes a lot of anger.
Whoa. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. And it's in, just think about how he is in real life. I mean, he's in a location where they have, he's in the court where they have control over him. I wonder how he is in real life. That's scary.
Anger to write that and to send it.
So after I got this recent denial from
Right. Andy had to hit the send button. Maybe I should change the word from the send button to the sin button.
perspective.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And that was sent on March
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
26, 2025.
There's no justifying that level of intelligence, right? I mean, I'm embarrassed to having to hear it. It was at my lowest point, and there's no BS. I was angry.
Oh, Stakes, you may continue. Your excuse. You may continue to confer.
Thank you.
Yes,
He's a terrible manipulator. I can see how he got caught.
I mean, I'm telling you, that was at a point like just ultimate low. And excuses. There's not an excuse. There's just a sincere regret.
Judge, my client would like the opportunity, if he's allowed to continue his probation, to apologize individually to each one of those people. If you would like to make that a condition, that would be great. I know it's usually outside of what we do, but it wouldn't be unusual for you to allow him.
Nah. Me, myself, he needs a little taste. I'm not going to say he should go to, prison or whatever for 10 years. He needs a little taste, though. He needs a little taste. Month, 2 months, something. Otherwise, because that's pretty bad.
To apologize.
And I do apologize to you.
All right, I understand, and I understand that people are angry sometime. All right.
Judge, we would ask also, as an additional condition, if we could add a cognitive behavior course or an MRT course to those that may assist him.
I just started seeing a therapist and talking to a psychiatrist.
I think that I think the court can see that he clearly has reading.
No, actually, no, I don't think they do. I don't think they do. What they see is a man clamoring for freedom, begging for freedom. But they do not see any type of really authentic apology whatsoever.
Hearing what he wrote, I think the court can see his sincere level of apology and wanting another chance.
All right, in probation, what are you recommending?
Judge, the court summary indicates revocation. Mr. Abraham has only been on probation since December, and although
He did sign his letter, yours truly. I think there should have been another thing other than yours truly, maybe with regards or something.
agreed, Judge. The court summary says revocation. I would say that he could benefit from some courses like the cognitive behavior course and more recognition therapy. There has been, I know the court reviewed the court summary, and you can see that there was some positive urinalysis that were waived by the state. However, he did produce a copy of his prescriptions. No prescription for alcohol, so that is something that we would have to really hone in on. But as far as the other positives for actual substances, I do have prescriptions for those. And he did provide the receipt for his community service hours. the
I
community.
have to give this young lady who's talking right now a hand of applause because I guarantee you she was probably one of the people he cussed out. So for to have that much patience, ooh, hats off.
Community service hours were paid to Feeding America, so I would ask the court for taking that into consideration. Other than that, Judge, that's all I have.
So are you asking for revocation? I understand the officer is requesting revocation, correct?
That is correct.
All right, thank you.
And if I could, Judge, I understand why the officer would recommend that after reading those emails. Again, I would ask for the courses. I would ask that the court allow my client to issue a full apology,
Nope, revocation, revocation.
email, handwritten, or in person, however the court wants to do that. If my client is allowed to apologize,
I'll do all of the above.
he is taking this quite seriously now after our conversation. Whatever the court would like to do, we'd ask that he be continued.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is finding violation of condition number 4 true. The court is going to find you guilty. The court is going to revoke, sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, and the court will retain jurisdiction.
Thank you. Your Honor.
And you can explain to your client what that means. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Because this is not a plea bargain agreement, we do have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion. Not
If you agree with her with her decision, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't, put a 2 in the chat. Man, how about
the
hey?
fact that you were on community.
Don't fug with the courts. Don't fug FUG with the courts. That's all I'm saying.
Community supervision or deferred adjudication. Do you understand? And you can explain that to him, counsel.
Thank you for that.
All right. Wow, man. That caught me off guard. That caught me off guard. Yeah. It was very dumb to do either via email or in pen and pencil. Man, that's crazy. Look, okay, we're not done yet. Here we go.
So this is the woman who became his third baby mother. And this is the way she was talking about quote unquote pick-me's before she got with Cam Newton.
These are women who try to do everything right just so a man can choose me. Yeah, cut that shit out. Cause I'm gonna keep it real with you. Men already know what they want in a woman and who they want. But if you're so nurturing and you're an asset.
No, man, I disagree with what she's saying. I don't think men approach women like that. They might want something from them, but they're not looking for substance or anything like that.
And it's not you, they'll never tell you to stop doing what you're doing because it's beneficial. And I don't want to hear none of that shit like, oh, I'm just a nice person. I'm genuinely like that. Well, bitch, you gonna genuinely get played.
Submissive woman do for her man.
So now she was on a podcast speaking very differently than she was in her car when she was talking about pick-me's. She, by her own definition, is a pick-me. And he's going to continue to use and use and use her while she continues to give and give and give. Listen.
And do for her man.
Everything.
Man, okay. This is gonna get deep now. This happens a lot, what you're about to see. It happens a whole lot. I don't want to give away the storyline. Let's break it down. Here we go.
I ain't been alive about a year.
Wait, no, I need to make sure I have the volume on point. Let me get the volume on point here. Okay. Here we go.
This whole said I come alive to give y'all what is really going in my life.
Yeah,
Like, what?
that's right. We going in, we deep diving on this one. Usually, this channel right here is deep. Black girl I forgot it's called. Yeah, Black Girl Unlost. This is crazy. Here we go.
It's cool.
Let me put a
Day
little
for
more
day,
volume
blow
on
for
this.
blow. Oh, this nigga is going to kill me. This nigga is going to kill me. Okay. Oh, he will kill me. Who is it?
Hi, Metro, please.
Hello.
Hi. Girl, what happened? He hit you?
I ain't even trying to do all this. I'm just trying to leave this bitch. Like, I'm just trying to exit.
What happened? Come on. You have to tell me the truth now.
Let me pause it right there for a second. I'm going to turn on the CCTV. We're going to get down. We're going to get down. Here we go.
A shocking and eye-opening live video of a woman documenting her domestic abuse has been circulating widely on social media, sparking intense discussions about the complexities of abusive relationships. In the video, she bravely records the aftermath of an alleged assault, detailing the abuse she endured. However, what has left many stunned is her reaction when law enforcement arrives. Despite having just spoken out, she unexpectedly defends the very man who harmed her. The footage serves as a clear
That's the part. This happens so doggone much. I've seen it with my bare eyes. It's crazy.
reminder of the emotional and psychological hold that abusers can have over their victims, shedding light on the cycle of manipulation, fear, and attachment that often makes leaving such situations incredibly difficult. The video has ignited conversations about the importance of support systems, intervention, and breaking the silence surrounding domestic violence.
This should have made your dad. This should have made your dad. Fuck, I let a nigga put their hands on me for again.
He hit her hard. Look, let me bring it back here for a minute. You got to see this. He hit her so hard, the skin fell off her face. That's a hard hit.
The video has ignited conversations about the importance of support systems, intervention, and breaking the silence surrounding domestic violence.
This should have made your dad.
Right there. See that? He hit her so hard, pushed the skin right off her face. You may not be able to see it on your screen. I sure as heck can say it. I see it on mine.
This should have made your dad. Fuck, I let a nigga put their hands on me for again. I let a nigga touch me. Again. I let a nigga do the most. Again. I let a nigga drag me through it. I let a nigga drag me through it. I'm hard, but I let a nigga drag me through it. Give me move. Leave. Get the fuck off me. Get off me. Get off me. Get off me. Move, bro. I swear to God, move. I swear to let me go. Dante, let me the fuck go. Bro, let me go. Move.
Where's the part where she's talking again? I think I heard enough of that.
When nobody say, once you get your look at you, big dog. Like I thought I could be any. You fighting a grown ass.
All day, every day. 50% or a lot more at a time. Shoot.
Man, baby, know who you is. Know you a female. Know you got a at the end of the day. Nothing gonna do you dirty. Simple as is. He gonna do you dirty every time. You can put him as much of a fight as you want to, but he gonna do you. He's gonna do you. He's gonna do you. Every blood clot time. Every time. Every time he's gonna do you in. He gonna do you in bad too. Real bad. Cause what? You know how
Let me stop it right there. This is all bad. This goes on for 15 minutes, but that's enough of that. I mean, wow. I don't know what to say. I really don't. Look, you can see the skin coming off her face. And this is common. This is not like 1 out of 10. This is 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2 times. Deonta says she got to put the police in him one day. Yep. But I've seen that's easier said than done. Yep. For a lot of DV. Yep. Well said, Deonta. Why seek knowledge? Sneak a blick in there and send him back for a redo. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's getting worse because the red pill teaches hate. Yep. They're probably defending this dude. Probably. Wow. Well, let's get back to Cam.
Men in general are the smallest part of
I think you know who it is. Sin G, breaking it down real quick. By the way, check out her Patreon. I wish, you know what I want to see? I want to see Sin G versus Cam Newton. I wonder when Cam Newton is going to call up Sin G. He probably will never will because she'll pick him apart. But I do know somebody who got picked apart. Oh, Dr. Umar. Oh, Dr. Umar wanted to talk some smack about Sin G. She let him have it. And I'm thinking about, I'm going to have to react to that. I'll think about it. It was bad, though. It was bad. I haven't heard what Umar said, but I heard what Cynthia G said. And, I was, cooking marshmallows over her smoke. Let's just put it that way. Because there's a lot of smoke, a lot of toasting going on. She was toasting them up. Here we go.
Procreation, even though they've marketed themselves to be 100% of it, they are not. They literally only nut. That's all they're doing. Their body is doing nothing else except nutting. They don't even know that you're pregnant or that they have a child until you tell them. Beyond having sex with a woman, they're completely detached from the
Deonta Umar too busy with his 20 baby mamas. You know something, Deonta, I think that's the next thing that's going to happen. When something little like this starts, then everybody starts coming out of that woodwork, just like what happened with Diddy. They're going to be coming out of the woodwork. I don't think they're all going to be coming out real quick, but watch. They're going to be coming out.
Procreation process and the result of it, which is their children. This should be obvious at this point. They abandon them. They don't care about them. They don't want to take care of them. All they do is complain about children. Over and over and over, they complain. 99% of procreation is on the woman. Yes, you've been lied to and told that men are creators, but no, they are not. You are. Your body is what creates the baby. Then you give birth to it after you spent nearly a year allowing it to nourish off of your body, deplete your vitamin levels, cause your teeth and your hair to nearly fall out. Then you give birth to the child and then you raise it. So a man isn't going to care about whether he has enough money because he doesn't plan to be a provider. They are not natural providers. And that should be obvious, because if they were natural providers, they wouldn't be sitting up complaining about, providing for their children. Natural providers, they would just provide. Just like how women are natural leaders. That's why nobody Nobody has told Black women to get up and try and keep the Black community together. You just do it naturally because it is in your nature to do so. Black men specifically are natural nesters. That's why everything that they do is in the direction of nesting and being provided for rather than leading and being a provider. You are trying to pull something out of Black men that's just not in them. If you are still looking for them to be leaders, then you are a part of the women that refuse to update their mental software. Your body is what creates the baby. Their body does not. Their sperm is not life creating. It does not contain a baby. These are all.
So basically, she's breaking it down, and obviously it's not every single Black man. No, absolutely not. But enough of a percentage that you could say it's common. So the thing is this, Black men, if we want to prove Cynthia G wrong, then you have to prove Cynthia G wrong. You just can't cuss her out and say she's wrong. If you're behaving in that way, that's just the way it is. Then that's how you are, and that's why she said what she said. So if you want to prove Cynthia G wrong, your behavior has to prove Cynthia G wrong. Now, I ain't putting no money on it. But I'm just telling you, if you want to solve your concern or problem with Cynthia G, that's how you have to do it. Now, you probably would prefer, walking across the United States barefooted, but until then, that's what you have to do.
All lies. If this was the case, they would be connected to their children like most women are connected to theirs. Most women do not abandon their children. Most women do not fatally abuse their children. Most women do not walk out on their children. Most women do not complain about providing for their children. Why? Because women are natural providers. You are the natural provider. That's why you have no problem allowing your offspring to suck out all of your natural resources out of your body, because you know that is what you naturally do as a woman.
There you go, folks. Let me drop the link just in case somebody wants to debate or discuss. Link is dropped. I'm going to move forward with the man of the evening, who's both a Pookie and a Wookie at the same time, Andrew Tate.
So fuck off, mate. You don't pay the fucking petrol bill. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck would I read for you? You've got a fit sister who's 16, maybe.
Muslims have the best frame on earth.
Did you hear what he just said? Man. Deontay, welcome to the stage.
Hey, DJ, how you doing?
Doing good. How's your Saturday going?
Oh, it's going pretty well. Can you hear me okay?
What?
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, you sound good. You sound great.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I should have kept going. What? Huh? So anyway, I know you're not a super duper Cynthia G fan. So what is your take? What is your take?
Honestly, I was typing a very long comment about Cynthia G, and I deleted it before I pressed it. See, that's what happens when you come on the DJ Torch show enough. I don't think I can press send. I actually thought about it, but basically what I was thinking was, you said something. You said that it's not all men she's talking about, but man, I've heard. I haven't listened to her like a lot, but I don't run from the people who I don't agree with, because I do want to know their perspective,
Right.
Because I've always found something that I do agree with people who I don't agree with. They're not completely off the spectrum. Even Cynthia G, she's not wrong in what she's saying. She's right. It's just that she has taken it to a far, um, how should I say, like to the edge of it. You know what I'm saying? Like to the extremes, what I'm saying.
Right.
Where it's like, I think that she believes about 99% of the men are just done. You know what I'm saying? If not all of them. And that's where it's like, come on now. But at the same time, I know guys that are like that. Like Tommy Sayor, Tommy Myers, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Like, he is my equivalent of the female version of Cynthia G, of the male version, because he's completely done with black women. Like, completely. And it's disgusting. Now, and I'll be for real with you, he's worse to me to black women than she is to black men. Because his voice is just bigger. You know,
Well,
no other way to put it. And you know, but what she said about Umar was correct. And I'm not really sure what she said about Cam Newton, right?
yeah, that was about Cam Newton.
Okay.
So basically, what she's saying is that Cam is really a sperm bank. And
Yeah.
I mean, the difference between Cam and maybe a lot of other men in her perspective is that, well, he does have a little bit, he has a decent amount of money. It's not as much as we all thought, but he has a decent amount. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is that it's easy to spend $1 million on your kid a year. You could easily spend $1 million on your kid and not even really, you know, it's not like you're buying them a house. You know what I mean? But, and he's got what, how many? 8 now?
Yeah.
So you think about Cam, really, quite honestly, we can't really grade him higher for his money because with him having 8 kids, that's like maybe us having 1. You see what I'm saying? Because he's obviously telling us he's not getting that NFL money anymore, right? So basically, and it's not, I mean, you just can't keep up with 8 kids spread out all over the United States. You just can't. The key thing, of course, the main thing is not supposed to be money. But I think what the argument that men are missing is that it is, if it's not about the money, then it's about you being around for your kids. And if you got like 8 kids, 10 kids, you know, some got as high as 30 kids, you're just not going to be a good father. You just, by default, you're just not going to be a good father. Just like if you played basketball and you had, Steph out there, right? Yeah, he's fine if he's got 5 other guys with him, but if he's just playing by himself, he's going to get his butt whipped. You see what I'm saying? And I feel the same way about men who have a whole lot of kids, which includes Mr. Uber. I'm not Uber, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Umar is getting there, but really, quite honestly, the king of that is come on, I can't believe I forgot his damn name.
Come on, Nick Cannon.
Trump's buddy.
Elon Musk.
Yeah. Let me say that for a minute. You like why seeking knowledge? Give us a little bit of your knowledge. Okay, she's not there right now. But yeah, that's my take. The thing is
Well, I have a lot to say
Okay,
about Dr. Umar.
Gotcha.
Can you hear me?
I sure
have
can.
unmuted my mic.
Yeah, you're perfect. I can hear you now. Uh-oh, I think you just muted your mic, I think. I think it was unmuted for a second. There we go. Perfect.
I guess I'm behind, and I'm sorry, but I don't know how to fix the audio. It is taking some time.
It sounds perfect right now.
Okay, sorry about that, but I'm just going to start speaking over myself because I hear myself talking. But with Umar, through the years, Dr. Umar has been somebody, he has made himself someone to look up to. And we have, I remember we had a pro-black movement. I remember X-Clan in the 90s and the 80s. We used to have the Africa chain on us and things like that. We had confronted anything like him. We had upcoming blacks. We had blacks in the Senate, blacks in the, moving to high PhD positions, things like that. But we hadn't had anything black, like African black. Okay, until he came and really spread that out for us. We were so accepting of him. And criticism of the educational system of how they do black men. And I do believe that it was very true. He had a very valid point on how he spoke of how they claim ADHD for black boys and things. I mean, if you listen to his early point and lecture, you can finally hear him speak. I do believe that there was a lot of credibility, and I did take time to research things that he said. So he did have credibility early on. He may have had the intention of building a school, running a school. What time has revealed the true Umar? Umar is a grifter. He's back and forth. I've heard him condone black women saying she's on the planet. I've heard him throw them on the stairs, say they just first like everybody else.
Right.
Okay. Umar is all over the place trying to hang on to that coin. He lost the dream about the schools, so now he's trying to find his feet in social media. Okay. So I was glad to see him slice in pieces because now his baby of course or making lectures. There were very hopeful women thinking they were getting a good man, a better man. Listen, but look, it's revealed now that he's just as dusty as Pookie and Ray Ray.
Yeah,
Umar. Umar. I don't know, but that's all I have to say.
Well said. Well said. Okay, so what do you all think about Umar's cousin, Andrew Tate? I think they're really all I think they're all the same, to be honest with you.
That's I'm sorry. I think that I don't want to say I agree with everything that Wyatt Seeking Knowledge said. It was perfect.
Well, I think this Andrew Tate guy, he is half black. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Hey, is your YouTube on? 'Cause I know sometimes when I leave my YouTube on and my StreamYard, it'll delay like that. I always turn off my YouTube when I come on. But yeah, no, that's all I was saying. Is that I agree with what she was saying, and Umar was very serious. We all took him serious when he came to prominence in 2010, and from there, from 2010 2015, he really showed us something that we hadn't seen since honestly the 70s and 60s, where I'm not saying that he on Martin Luther King, none of them level, of course, because we wasn't going through the same thing when he came out. But we haven't heard of black men who are as serious.
Okay, it doesn't look like it. So I can't hear anything.
Oh, we can hear you. We can hear you. But do you have a headset on, or do you have are you on your phone? Okay, she dropped out for a minute. Let me play this tape for a little bit, and then give everybody that time to fix up their mics, and then I'll stop it. Here we go.
Crazy. I want this, and this is my society, and they're coming along telling me they're going to blow this up and take this away from me. No, I want a virgin wife at 16 who's going to obey me. That's what I want.
I was working as an IT tech.
Let me. Hey, I did not even play very long. So
no, I didn't mean to. I'm just saying. Damn, he said 16, a virgin. What's wrong with him?
Basically, the problem is that a lot of guys love him for it. That's shout out to Act Natural Under Pressure in the house. Yeah, that's the sad part. The sad part is not really him saying it. The sad part is that nobody even pushed back on him about it. That's the sad part. Man.
Technician in my former high school, fixing laptops. Okay. Got fired from there for sleeping with the head girl. You know how it is. It's hard out here. How old? I was like 18. Oh, and she was 16. So I was like, what's the problem? And they're like, oh, yeah, but you're a member of staff. Da, da, da. Whatever. So
I was contacted by Andrew Tate, the older of the Tate brothers, 3 years ago when I was just 16.
So I messaged her. She's like, I'm only 16. I was like, give a fuck. Know about me. I'm 21. I don't care. Bro, I was banging her, like looking at her Facebook on the phone, like just staring at a different face. Because I had to bang her. So Vivian's been with me 6 years. 6 years. 6 years.
So he's been with Vivian for 6 years, right?
Because Vivian's younger. Melissa's like 28. Vivian's like 21.
Vivian's 21. And at this point, he's been a girlfriend for 6 years. It means that they met when she was 15 years old.
I'm fucking all these 16-year-old women or 18-year-old women, whatever the law is in America. 18?
It's 18 usually. You get married at 16.
All right. In Romania, 16. Sorry. Yeah. So I'm fucking all these 18-year-old women.
This guy really secretly looks disgusted, but let's keep it going.
I mean, blah, blah, blah.
16.
All right. In Romania, 16. Sorry. People talk.
So that's their hero.
So he thinks it's a flex to tell people that because I live in a country, Romania, where the consent is 16, it's okay for me to do it. So what if you went to a country like off the Chartistan, some country, and their legal age for sex is 12.
Right.
Just because the country says you can do it at 12, you gonna start bragging about it and doing it at 12? Like, yeah, I come from a country where I can hit 12-year-olds, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it
like,
sounds crazy.
Like, what? Yeah, like that's. I mean, I heard Andrew Tate before when he first blew up big, and he had the motivational videos, and his motivation is different. It's for those weirdo geeky boys, incels who hate women and whatever. Like, hey, you can get paid for anything as well. I ain't mad at him for that. But when you start saying, because this is that same thing to do from Fresh and Fit, Myron is on. They're both on that 16, 17, 18-year-old virgin shit. And y'all motherfuckers is in y'all 30s. I'm sorry for cousin, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
no,
like, grown men and y'all up here chasing after teenage girls. That's weird.
Yes, that's putting it nicely. Why seeking knowledge? Are you there? Oh wait, she dropped out. Oh, did she come up? Oh, she'll be back. I think so. Okay. I'll play a little bit more. Here we go.
About me hitting a girl with a belt and me being a woman beater. That same woman has made 3 videos subsequently. 3.
Okay. Number one, that's one thing I find about weirdos is they love to lie. The woman said nothing of the sort. So, I mean, the thing is that if he really wanted to prove it, why doesn't he at least submit a transcript online to his videos? He doesn't do it because those women never said that.
It was consensual. It was a long time ago. He's still a good friend of mine. But no matter how many videos she makes, right? The video of her saying this is bullshit gets 10,000 views.
Because she never said it was bullshit.
And the video of me being a woman beater gets millions of views. That's the nature of the.
I mean, he literally went to prison for it. I mean, he eventually got out, right? But that's what he went to prison for. So it's like, dude, I mean, give up the funk. I mean, come on. But that's how these men with this mental, that's how these liars are. I mean, they can't help it. If somebody said they would they would give him $100 million if he went through 2 days lying. I guarantee you he could not do it. He could not do it. He may not even try. I'm serious. I mean, I don't think there's some people who lying is breathing to them. It brings them joy to see how they are deflecting and the word I'm looking for. How they're really manipulating people. They love to manipulate people. And it's not like manipulating people with, hey, if you can drive me down the street, we'll both get some beers, because that's a form of manipulation, really, in a way. But it's not that kind of manipulation. It's more like, ha, I fooled you, and I fooled everybody else. And that's the funny part. I don't know.
I want to show you this video, and I warn you before we watch this video that this is very disturbing, but this is a must-watch video. This video.
Okay, wait. Why Seeking Knowledge is back. Let's do a mic check. Mic check.
Okay, you got me on there now?
Sounds good.
All right, wonderful.
Using Andrew Tate's own words, exposes the lies that he told to Tucker Carlson. The primary lie being that the Matrix is out to get him, that he's an innocent man, that he's a good man, and that he's never harmed anyone. Andrew Tate's own words contradicts what he was saying to Tucker Carlson. So, warning, this video should not be viewed in front of children. Of course, it's incredibly disturbing even for adults, but I want you to see it because of the level of influence that Andrew Tate has on young men all around the world, and because of how many views his interview with Tucker Carlson garnered on Twitter. So take a look.
What are you charged with?
That's a really good question. I'm charged with being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting girls to make TikTok videos.
They face charges which include human trafficking, rape, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women.
OnlyFans is the best hustle in the world.
Are they accusing you of using violence or?
No. They're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice.
No, wait. We saw the paperwork, y'all, right there. On the day, in a building, by exerting physical violence, actual context. Wow, that doesn't look like lover boy stuff to me.
They're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice. I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. You the girl. After you the girl, you do the PhD test. This girl's like, okay, well, I'll try it. Put both girls on camera together the first day, so the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give him a bottle of vodka.
First night that I worked for him, Andrew bought me like 5 bottles of wine. So I got completely drunk because I'd never done webcam work. So I was very, very nervous.
And over time, I just built up this big little empire of webcam girls.
Ain't that something? There's deviants and sick people all over the place. What scares me is how popular these types of people are. It's almost like there's as many deviants as there are decent human beings, in my opinion. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts?
I think this is a defect of the Caucasus gene. And I hate to say that, and I had to bring this in here, but I think it's particularly true. And we should be able to see this right now with all the dump supporters who voted against their own best interest. It's things that they cling to. It's things that they acquiesce onto. and things that they believe. It can be a whole. They know Donald Trump told millions of lies. Well, probably hundreds of thousands of lies. Just bring it down. Hundreds of thousands of lies between his last presidency and all his campaign up to this one. And they were told, they were fact checked. They were MSNBC, they were putting them all out there, everything. But they were just totally gone. It's like they made places where they went to worship and kneel down, and that's what they did. Come on, it's something going on with the Caucasus gene. It's meant for survival. They make up 10% of the whole. Everybody else is melanated. They are the least melanated. They only make up 10% of the whole world. So the desperation of survival and the social, the social biology, that they put together to try to run. They run this whole thing. How they make up 10% of the world population, and they run this whole thing. They are so good at psychology. Look at this. And look at, they all just acquiesce and go for it. Come on. I mean, I hate it, but I got to respect it too. Because look how successful. You got people in India putting on bleaching creams. I ain't never heard of this stuff.
Right.
Come on. You can't get jobs unless you lighter skinned in countries that's not even ours, that's not even European, that's not, listen. So, I mean, he knew what, and that's what I got to say about him. He is a mixed child. Usually they never give mixed children the kind of props that this man is getting ever. They won't listen to us this long. I don't care. But he knew the program. He's been sucking this up since he's been a child. He's been among the Caucasus. He comes out the womb of a woman that is not as melanated as us. But he has been listening. He knew exactly how to formulate himself to be profitable.
Right.
Okay? Yes. Look, he went to Romania and spread out. Come on. And look, Trump let him back. That's how much, listen, I don't do people like this. So, I mean, I haven't studied the psychology behind his message, but a lot of men, yeah. I mean, he played right into it so good. He even taught them a class on how to pimp women and all this. And for him to sit here and say this now, I mean, but Trump gets away with it. So you got to wonder, this is where their mentality doesn't believe that they ever want to do anything wrong. And white people, the good white people who are in the streets marching today on April 5th are the fault of these kind. They are the fault of these kind because instead of them checking, they chose race loyalty instead of checking their bad people like this. And they let them grow because they only make up 10% of the world population. They have had this white fear. You got to read Roland Martin book. They didn't have this white fear for a long. So even their bad was like, oh no, we all got to just know, So they've been letting this grow and fester. That's how we got that January 6th riot. And that's how we getting this. That's how we got Trump doing it. They've been letting these putrid figures within, instead of them culling their populations. They have been so race loyal, they have been like, we've been race loyal too. Been like, all these baby daddies and all this stuff, they ain't never took care of it. Okay, they can't point a finger at us. This stuff is global. That's all I got to say. What y'all think?
Yeah, to break it down for us.
Yeah, Andrew is a special kind of guy, and I like what you just said too about how I never thought about that before, about how Andrew is half black, half white, and he's the only. You're right. I believe. Now that I hear you say that, I haven't heard that before. That had me thinking. Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan. I've never seen half black, half white person enjoy the half white side of them as much as those two have. Like where even more than Barack Obama, obviously, because Barack is he still looks black. When you see Andrew Tate, and we black people, we always get to there's some kind of spice in them, right? But they never talk about him being white when he's in London or sorry, about him being black or mixed. They never, I mean, they bring it up when they talk about his dad. They know his dad is black, but it's almost like he's some kind of special being where he got a black dad, but they still pass him off as like white. You know, they never hold that against him. Uh, they've held it against Barack. They even hold it against Drake sometimes, and Drake is, superstar. But yeah, it's the hyper masculinity that's going on. They did not like how left and liberal this country was going between '08 and 2020. They got a 4-year taste of Trump in there in 16 to 20, and they liked it. And then they got Biden back from 20 to 24, and he just continued what they were doing when Barack was in office, and he did not. And when I say they, I'm talking about the white men and more than half of the white women in this country, because they are the biggest electorate in the United States, is white women, and they voted for Trump every time. Like it's they go with their man, but that's because they don't have the same kind of issues that we have, and, in our community. So that's just the way that they roll for the most part. Now the liberal women, no, they wasn't going for that. Of course, they were with the Democrats, but it was too much though. It was way too much going on. Even the average person in America who don't pay attention to politics, they were being forced to pay attention at their job. They had work having, trainings about using them and they and all this other stuff. Man, like, man, where does this come from? And even the average person who even don't pay attention to politics decided to jump in and they voted for Trump. So that's really what happened with that situation. They might have buyer's remorse, but on voting day they was done with that shit. I'm sorry about the cuss words, but
No, that's okay. Hey, we adults.
Oh yeah, but that's really what I think it is, man. I think that the majority of the country, even blacks, and you see how Hispanic men voted. I mean, a lot of them went for Trump at the polls. Like they were just done with all the extra stuff that the liberals were pushing, and they just said forget about everything else.
Yep. Yep. I think that's a very good point.
I don't agree. I mean, this whole thing where they are totally against liberals. I mean, and it's the patriarchy is very, and that's what this is based on. The patriarchy is so strong, and the patriarchy says men are over women. Period.
Right.
Okay. So anything with rights and things like that, that's why they hate the liberals. I mean, it ain't like the economy was bad. Every time a Republican takes office, they kill the economy and Democrats come and build it back up. This is documented. You can go. I have went, come on. And you go and you see the stocks and things like that. What happened when there's a Republican president and a Democrat? For those people to say, I voted for the economy. I mean, I could just, man, I just wish all their teeth would fall out. They map, they sit up there lying. Okay, they voted for it because of the racism and the patriarchy. How dare women have rights? Like I said, that Caucasus gene is always meant to rule over something. Something has to be substandard under them. They have to have their foot on the neck of something. And that's that Caucasus gene. They do that. Okay, because the world was around. They reset time a whole. This ain't 2020. We know that they reset that BC and AC, all this crap like this. All this time, you didn't see this violence against other shades, races, other melanated people anywhere until this Caucasus thing walked out these mountains. And it hates everything that's not them. It's like the world has caught cancer. And it's killing, look, everything, the air ain't the same. Look, the air is dirty. The water is dirty. None of they inherited. When they walked out them caves, inherited everything clean, pristine, everything. And we all got along. And there was so many races here. When that Caucasus thing walked out that mountain, everything has been dying. ever since.
Mm.
At this time, it's the economy.
Well, yeah, I know you're right about that, but what you said is such a broader conversation. You
I
know,
would,
it's like
I
if we,
understand, but this is
yeah,
part of it. This is one little microcosm of it. That's all I'm
no,
saying.
no, yeah, no, you're right. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I mean, you're right about what you're saying about these people. But one of the things is, especially for us, why we need to get our stuff together is because while we up here arguing over who gonna be the leader and who gonna pay the bills and bring somebody a plate and all these other nonsense,
Ooh,
these,
amen.
yeah, while we arguing over this nonsense, we are being drug along by these white mountainous people. Think about it. Like the analogy I like to use is the United States. It's like that old wedding scene when the couple get married and they used to get in the car, right? And remember, the car used to have those little strings with the cans attached. Like black people, we are the cans. The house niggas are the strings that attach the cans to the car, and the car is white America. And wherever the car goes, which is America and white people, we just get the string and bounced all along the street. We got no say in where we go and what we do because we don't have anything of our own. We just being drug along with them. So when it comes to the economy and if we go to war or not, like we have about a 10% power in the voting in the elections every year. 10% is actually a lot if you put it in one block and give it to one side. But that's the only power that we got really in this country until we build our own and stop arguing over foolishness. I'm telling you.
Well said. Well said. Let me play a little bit more of this. Here we go.
So one point, I had 4 locations, 75 girls working for me. I'd take around half of the money, around 50%. You take 50%. Around 50%.
They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes.
He would just pay me a flat fee of £15 an hour.
I was all about trying to get paid. Like my whole, I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house to make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was
He's basically a pimp. I mean, he's basically a pimp.
Pimp in that sense.
Were there any other instances where there was physical abuse?
I saw him smack girls with a belt.
Some ideas? Do you want some ideas? That's right, lock the door, you knew I was going to beat the out of you. If you behaved, I wouldn't have to hit you, would I? You don't. Get out. You can't stay in there forever.
Once again, this is an IQ test, right? Because any guy who's bad with women would look at it and go, takes a woman beater.
I say it. Look at the camera. This is what happens. You don't listen. Look at the camera. Why are you getting hit? Why are you getting beaten? You don't listen.
Wow.
You.
Dang. Okay. All right. Let's close this one out, y'all. What do you this is crazy to me. I don't know what to say.
I mean, the red pillars, I mean, all this makes sense to them. It makes sense why this is done. And like I said, this is something that they feel so wrong for. With rights of anybody. See, the DEI, white women, they voted for Trump. They didn't believe that they was included in there. They thought it was only race.
Right.
But now they have subjected this of The Handmaid's Tale. I mean, this predictive programming has been coming out. The Hunger Games. Look what they're doing to the economy. The predictive programming has been in place for quite some time. I mean, you have to be blind to miss this.
Right.
Okay, this is the patriarchy part of it. This is the way one woman back in the kitchen. You hear black men, traditional. They ain't never been traditional. They ain't married, nothing. They just had a pogo stick peens. Leaving babies off. Stop it. Stop it. Hollering about that traditional now. Because they've been listening to it, see? They've been sucking up stuff too. Now, they deserve to be the only people that feel like they need to have a foot on the neck of someone are these Caucasus. Listen, this was not like this before they left them. Why was you had never heard of nothing like this? Slavery, the proportions that was the cruelty, cutting off hands. Look at Mussolini, Leopold, cutting off arms, fingers. That was more of a treasure than the rubber they was getting. Was coming back with them souvenir hands. They was cutting off black people. 50 million. Listen, this is what we're dealing with. This is still here. This has never died. And the patriarchy is a part of it. Before they got a hold to any person with any melanin to make it easy to be prejudiced against, the women white women were the first Negroes. They were the first ones. They was getting dogs out. They wasn't nothing. You could look at it. I mean, you could look at the statues. And look at the things, they don't have women. They were men, all men in Rome. That was Adonis. That's the perfect figure. The women was all in the back, like, man, screw y'all. And they had a little, 12-year-old boy now because they like boy stuff. They've been doing this for a long time. Even on the churches, like one of that famous church, I wish I could tell you the name of it, that burned up or whatever. There are priests or something standing there with little boys at their crotch with the face pointed to the crotch.
Notre Dame.
Thank you. These things, listen, the world caught cancer when those things left that mountain. We've been getting eat ever since we're in stage 5 right now. Now, we better learn how to survive this. If we do not come back together, I can hate you for this, hate me for that. If we don't learn that we need to be a team, black men need to stop riding this white man stuff. I need to be the boss. I need to be the leader. We a team. We need to team together. I'm a team. You a team. I'm a force. You a force. Let's bind together and get through this. You keep hollering about, I want my meal cooked and pay everything. You stay home. A woman can't afford to stay home. Look what they just did to the economy. I'm supposed to stay. You want me to stay home for real?
Right. Basically, it's all hands on deck now.
We're going to buy a 50-pound bag of potatoes. We'll eat that every day. I'm not doing that. I'm going to have to work too. Okay? Quit being dumb and listening to this. Listen, they want everything. They have always been jealous that they can't be the man that this Caucasoid has been. But the devil, or whatever. I mean, if you want to look at it like that, it's an evil thing. And the psychology and all these things that they have played to get, like I said, to make up 10% of the world population to run this whole thing. There is a lot of psychology involved if we do not look into this stuff and see where it has got us and why we are, getting into it and following all it. We need to wake up.
Well
we got to
said.
wake up. Plain and simple as that.
Well said. Let me welcome Darnell to the stage. Darnell, how have you been? What is going on with you?
Oh, well, how you doing, ma'am, and DJ Torch? How's everyone been?
Doing good.
Right. Yeah, just started joining the topic. I was listening in when you guys were talking about the Trump voters, black people voting for Trump and things like that. I was just kind of, then you went up to Andrew Tate. So what is exactly the topic?
We're pretty much freestyling now. We're
oh,
freestyling.
okay.
Yeah, we could talk about Tate. We could talk about anything right now.
Okay. So I just wanted to say the first thing, thing is,
your audio
with,
off.
You said my audio.
Yeah, you're dropping out just a little bit, but yeah, just continue. You're borging just a little bit, but we'll pick it up.
Okay. But yeah, so I was just gonna say, so when it comes to the to the election, when it came to people voting for Trump, when you think about it, Trump is not really for anybody, regardless of skin color. I don't think he's a good candidate. I don't think anybody, you know, it's crazy to me that I understand people think, oh, he's a great businessman, this and that. But when you look at his track record, well, hell, just listen to the man. Nothing he says ever makes any sense. He has more bankruptcies than I think everybody on this panel combined. You know, so
Yeah, well, I wonder if he would have any money if he had to pay everybody back.
And then he cheated on his taxes too.
you know, but the
And the
problem
IRS
is
never
that
got. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, you good. That was actually that was actually a good point. You know, he did cheat on his taxes, and he's also gutted the IRS, so he's never going to have to pay. But I mean, the thing is, though, the problem is that he has a way, you know, with communicating with the masses. Like, I can think of, you know, at least 4 other presidents, you know, Obama, Clinton, Reagan, and John F. Kennedy that could communicate with the people the way he does, you know. And I think that that's the issue, because I do agree that last year, yes, so the economy on paper, I mean, the data suggested, hey, the economy's great. The economy is good. It's great, actually. Unemployment was low. Inflation was a little high. But the problem is that most Americans, when they're at the grocery store, they don't see that, you know. At the end of the month, you know, when their paychecks is less and less and there's no disposable income, they can't go out to eat. Can't do something fun, you know, because they don't have any money. You know, the grocery store's eating their paychecks. And I think Trump was able to get on people. You know, I think he was able to discuss that, you know, about, hey, man, your check is not going very far. And when I was president, you know, your paychecks were going a lot further. Gas was lower, you know. He's not telling the truth, but you know. But the thing is, I think the American people, they do remember that. And I got to be honest with you, with the Democrats, what I think it is that, and I'll be honest with you, and I'm not trying to, you know, bash her. And keep in mind, yes, I did vote for Kamala, but she ran a horrible campaign. I was like, does she want?
I have to agree.
I disagree.
I wouldn't say it's horrible, but
I disagree.
Basically, I think that the situation with Kamala, quite honestly, she's lucky to get the vote she did, because she started very late. I thought it was too late. I thought it was 2 months, maybe 3. That's too late.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was something like that. I think it was June or July, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was late.
And remember, dude had been campaigning since he lost. So you can't beat that. I mean, to me, it's like, I mean, it turned out horrible. I don't think she had a horrible campaign.
Why was this man getting media time? Why was he getting media time and he lost? He got media time through the whole thing. Why did we have to hear what he said, what he thought, and he wasn't even president no more. He got media time. Why was everything? I stopped 5 years, yes. All the time. Why do we care what he said? Why do we care what he did? He lost? It was over. But he was in the media. No, see, this is something that they're doing. They're planning. Okay. I really don't think he won this time with all these people in the streets on April 5th. Y'all seen the protest?
I saw a little bit of it.
I saw a little bit of the protest as well. It was pretty significant, more than I thought. But you got to remember, it was almost 100 million people who voted for Kamala. So that's a lot of people. So of course, it's a lot of people out there who disagree with Trump. And but speaking of his media exposure he was getting, remember Trump he took advantage of social media unlike any other president has before with these podcasts and these online shows on YouTube. I mean, he sat down with all the big stars that was out there on podcasts. He went on Joe Rogan. That did 50 million views in like 2 months. I mean, and Trump is not afraid to be himself. He'll lie, he'll over-exaggerate stuff, but now he doesn't care. And Kamala was so scripted and protected, and she went like a whole month without doing any interviews. I mean, it was a shock just dropping her in like that. That really wasn't fair for her. But it was I didn't think that the Democrats had a chance this election no matter who they ran. Like,
well, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I apologize. I just want to say I think that was more Biden's fault, and people close to Biden, like within his cabinet. Somebody should have seen. There's no way you can convince me that he just started becoming senile just around election time. I mean, somebody had to see something, and somebody, whoever was in his cabinet should have said something,
And that was the media's fault. We all agree, because CNN even admitted it to a point where what's the guy's name? Wolf Blitzer was saying how they knew that he was like this, but every time you asked them, they was all like, "Oh yeah, he's doing great and he's smart as a tack and all." Like, dude, he's falling asleep during speeches.
But you know, wait a minute. I gotta come in here right now, okay? Because Trump, ain't nobody saying nothing about his diapers. He can't even keep his continence. That one movie they made, I believe dude was up in him too. What was the name of that movie? The Apprentice? Did you see it? Okay, this man is wearing diapers. Okay, we ain't saying nothing about that. And every linguist, every person, every educational person graded him as an entry-level 6th grade. The only one who was close to them was George Bush Jr. He was a exiting 6th grade as far as his education level, the words he used, things like Trump is entry-level 6th grade. What is that? What we want to run the country? The psychology, like I said, this thing is deep. Why would we jump on the psychology of a person? We know he can't run this country talking 6th grade English, entry level 6th grade English. Our standards, I remember when our standards were high, we used to put people to the test. They better have this degree, that degree. Why? This fool who dodged the draft disrespect veterans. Okay, we need to look psychologically what's on the inside of our heads, what they have done here. It's a rad. It is just not that simple like that. It's not that simple like, well, they didn't have a good cut. No. This is psychological, okay, engineering that has put this stuff in, and they know they got them. They've got all these red people. Yeah, these people doing this. Yeah, I'm good. Now they all crying and they FAFO seasons. Why they were so dumb? You couldn't have millions of people that dumb. Psychologically, they have sold us a lot of things. They sold the man the patriarch. Yeah, woman's supposed to be my slave. She's supposed to do this. That. What a relationship is that now? The birth rate is dropping to hell. Don't nobody want to have no babies. Like, you ain't gonna be here with, well, you just supposed to control this woman, this and that. Okay, that's just one part. Like I said, this is huge. It's huge. It covers more than just this one particular thing. For people to take this psychologically,
you dummy. What? You are in the wrong lane.
Oh, don't get him, Darnell.
Let
him pass.
No, there's some idiot made a left turn from the center lane.
That's okay. We need you, Donnell. That means
So I
your
just
head
missed a
better
green
than
light.
his. Yeah, your head better than his.
Don't-
Just
don't-
be
yeah,
blessed.
I'm
Just
sorry.
look. Hey, you
Hey,
blessed. You
it's
smart.
better to miss a green
Let
light
him go. Let
than to
that
hit
fool
another
go.
car. So don't worry about it. Miss that green
That's
light.
true. I'm sorry.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but go ahead, y'all. This thing is deep. The rabbit hole is very deep. It ain't nothing like, oh yeah, this was media. We can't be that dumb. Come on, stop it. This thing is they have been psychologically engineering for a long time. Got little black kids picking which kid is the good kid, picking the white dog. Come on. Why did you think that stuff? Okay, what else would have been in play for us to come to this point where we are right now? We need to dig ourselves out this rabbit hole, y'all. This deep. For these people to vote against this many people to vote against their interests, and these people still cry, Trump, you told me these 5-4 seasons, and they all in the street and all this stuff, and this dumb man, he dumb, and I hate retarded kids. I mean, he on the stage, I'm watching this disrespecting veterans, all that stuff. That racism made them vote for him, like, okay, we race loyal. We all voted for him. Plain and simple. It wasn't no economy. This man got 6 bankruptcies and he cheated the government several times, and you voted for him because of the econ. Every time they look, and check them out. When you see them, they never look at the screen. They look down. I voted for the economy. Watch them. Start watching some of them interviews. You're gonna see exactly the same thing I see. They won't look at the camera. I voted for the economy. Watch. Racism. We're gonna put white people on top, and we're gonna put our foot on the necks of blacks and everyone else. And they didn't know that rich people just don't like poor people. And they didn't got everything we fought for since the labor rights era, after Reconstruction and all this stuff. When they cut off Reconstruction to do this, exercise to get the labor rights and everything. That's when the labor struggles began. 40-hour work weeks and this, because rich people had. Now he just flipped the switch, and all the money going all the way back to the rich people again. Just for them hating, they use their hate to get themselves in office, to flip the switch on everybody poor. Oh, they so stupid. Oh, they stupid. It ain't about it was her kept. No, this is psychology at play. I hate y'all don't see it.
Do you think that only happens on one side? I mean, because
I'm sorry.
This is something that I've been looking at for so long. And it wasn't until like the last decade, in my mid-20s, when I realized that both sides, Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, they both have extremes that do the same thing. They had the same goal. They just have a different pathway of taking it. And the reason why
one use Vaseline and one uses a sandpaper shot.
However,
and they both going up in us. Now, okay.
Yeah,
I'll take the Vaseline.
And they doing it.
Stop it.
And they're doing it the way. But I'm saying that they do this to us we got our particular reasons as Black people, but they also do it to their own people who are poor, because they have to have a working poor class in order to keep the type of society that they have going on. Now, I believe
you're saying exactly what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I believe. Now, here's something that you probably gonna totally disagree with me on, and everything. But Donald Trump, was he the right dude for the job? I never thought so. But he is completely different from what these people want. Donald Trump is not one of these old school, old money type of rich men. The rich elite class who runs the world in this country, they don't like Donald Trump. They never did. He been trying to get in their circle since the 70s. They don't want him. They think he's flashy. They think he's arrogant. They think he's a cheeseburger eating American who happens to be a billionaire. And that's really what he was. You got to remember before all this presidential stuff, who Donald Trump was. He was a celebrity selling commercials, doing Pizza Hut and McDonald's and selling his name just to put on the top of buildings. Like he wasn't doing nothing like diabolical, trying to take over the world and run people. He was just a businessman. You know, when he went in office, he had no strings attached to him. He literally had nothing to lose. He was a 70-year-old successful man. He didn't owe nobody no money, none of that. I'm talking about corporations who needed him to do things if he got elected for them. He didn't owe nobody anything. So
he owed the United States government a lot of money, which made him for sale.
Oh, Trump, you talking about because he didn't pay taxes for 20 years?
Stuff like, okay, yeah. And this even came up. They finally got him, thank you. And they finally got him up. But rolled him right on out. But see, he did owe some people, and he know he had to finagle some things, and he did.
There are tens of thousands of people in this country who don't pay taxes on millions of dollars, even billions. They do it through their corporations. It's not illegal what they're doing. All they're doing is setting up a trust and living their life through their trust instead of through their personal business. That's all they're doing. But another thing is too, when people point out stuff like, "Oh, Trump had 4, 5, 6 bankrupts," I'm like, you got to understand the way the business works in this world. Every successful company out there, including the ones that you might like, they all been through these before when they first started. They don't go into bankrupt personally.
This the point. So you'll get the excuse. Okay, well, if you had to come up for bankruptcy and you had to do something, why are we putting them to different standards and holding them to different standards when they have to run our country?
What I'm saying is,
we gonna forgive him because he also moved. That sounds slow. That don't sound right.
If you have
gonna forgive him like that, and then he refused to pay his taxes, I gotta pay, man. They coming at me Jacker style. When I get my check, they just showed me, bam, I took your stuff, man. You got left. Come on, man. He got to be like me. He got to be like an American. Barack couldn't do it, man. They was riding all over their tax, and every other president before them could never have a filthy tax reputation like this thing did. It's the look at the psychology. This is what I'm saying. Y'all totally missing it.
No, I'm saying that a lot of these people who run for president don't have billion-dollar companies. That's all I'm saying. But they all do. The tax shelters, it's not illegal. It's like playing chess and you playing somebody who never uses their knights or their bishops or their rooks because they don't know how to use them. And then when they see people use them, they get upset about it. It's not, that's all that's happening. Now, do I think that, like I said, Donald Trump loves black people and stuff? No, I don't. But do I think that the Democratic Party loves black people and want to see us succeed? I really don't. Last 50 years, we cling to them and we haven't gotten anything further than chicken dances, Senator Clyburn do the fish fry. Hillary Clinton will listen to WAP, and Kamala Harris will dance to Cardi B and carry her stuff in her pocket. They have Megan Thee Stallion twerking on stage next to her, and they wonder why she lost the election. They're not taking it serious.
Don't forget she washed collard greens in the tub. Don't forget
all that. But you know what?
They're not taking black people serious. Is what I'm saying. They up here shucking, jiving, dancing, and cooking for us, and giving other people politics.
But you know what? Okay. Neither one of them. I understand that, and I should tell people that too. I should say the same analogy. It's the lesser of two evils. Now, if I had somebody who gonna knock all my teeth out, bust me in the mouth, and throw me to the ground, and I cry, yeah, I'm hurt. Yes, I am. But if I had somebody else who gonna slit my throat and throw me out of a airplane, and I hit the ground, okay, which one I'm gonna pick? I got to pick the lesser of the two evils. Now I can live. I probably get my teeth done again, and I can talk about it. But for me, I'm not gonna survive getting thrown out of a helicopter or an airplane. Now, how smart are you to go without picking the lesser of the two evils for yourself? That is dumb. Just because somebody, they did that, so I'm gonna pick the racist that's gonna kill me and kill the economy. That stuff that bothers me. What is wrong with, like I said, the psychology? What they have done, they have really tore our brains up that we don't know how to pick at least the less that it's evil against all of them. None of them like us. But we don't know how to choose between the lesser of two evils. What happened?
Well, the problem, ma'am, is that as you know, black people have predominantly have voted Democrat in every election. You know, since the Voters' Rights Act bill in 1965. So 1968 going on forward, black people have voted Democrat, and the way black people feel like we're being left behind. It's like, you know, we don't get our bills. You know, anything that advances black people, it just doesn't. It's lucky to make it through committee. You know, then you know, and then you also
and then they cut out DEI, cut off all your jobs. Listen, that's what the other party did. They wasn't gonna do that. Listen, the lesser of two evils. None of this makes sense. The psychology, yeah, they didn't do nothing. Neither one of them like us. I understand this, but you have to be strategic, like the spook that sat behind the door and said, okay, this and that, blah, 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 blah. They hate me too, this, that. But if I choose this, at least they'll leave that in check. At least my women that I don't want to help support the children for, she can get a job, you know, because I'm not going to pay for my kids because I'm just at a pogo stick peeing them all over the place. She ain't going to get me for child support because this and that. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, ain't no smart, ain't no thinking going on to develop what the lesser of the two evils was. You pick a straight out racist that is eliminating everything from the civil rights act you spoke of, knocking all that out, all that what? So this was the best. Well, Democrat, well, they had this I'm stupid. I hate when I hear cause they had this and the Oh, I hate hearing language like that. Swear to God, say some more. Say some more. Say some more.
Well, unfortunately, ma'am, it's, you know, it's one of those things. Okay, you've been voting for a particular party, you know, for decades. You know, they make you promises on the campaign trail, just like Joe Biden, for example. Just more recently, Joe Biden in 2020, when he ran, if you remember, Joe Biden in the primaries, he was losing. He lost New Hampshire, he lost Iowa, he lost Nevada. It wasn't until South Carolina came, and guess who came? It was black folks that supported Joe Biden. You know, over everyone, over Cory Booker, over Kamala Harris, over everyone. And Joe Biden made us promises. He made a lot of promises to the black community, and then when he got into office, nothing.
So you think that justifies us being here, and you think since they messed up, we deserve all of this? That's been the erasure of the Civil Rights Act, all our ancestors fighting and going through all this and making the ground and crying and dogs and hoes and everything. Okay, so since they didn't do what they said, we deserve getting. We should elect the other party who gonna erase all of that progress.
No, ma'am.
Tell me that makes sense.
Let me interject real quick.
Go ahead, DJ.
Okay, you can't really say what's some of the most important things in life.
God damn.
Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness.
Okay, let's start with life, right? Okay. So who gave us affordable health care?
Obama.
Why is that such a small thing to people?
Well,
I mean,
public.
I guess what I'm saying is that's a freaking big deal. Now anybody can get health care. Anybody has a chance at living a longer life now. That wasn't the case before. And I'm not saying, oh yeah, well he turned burnt cheese into caviar. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, why do the simple things in life get missed? Like, one, affordable health care to keep you alive part of the life liberty part, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then at least showing some sort of pushback to, you know, brutality, which really is really not the biggest problem in our community. But let's say if it was, right? At least there was some pushback from a president, and it happened to be Obama at the time. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying he made, you know, lemonade out of lemons, but what I'm saying is that you can't say he hasn't given us anything either. What I think it is that people, they're saying that he didn't give us what a lot of, in general, we wanted. Nobody was complaining about dying early. You see what I'm saying? How many people are going, yeah, I'm so glad I can get health care. Now I won't die early. No, nobody's doing that. No, the thing is this. I believe what we wanted as a group of people is equality. And there's just no way that's going to be delivered, which means that by definition of our status quo, he didn't do nothing. Do you see my point?
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely. And I don't disagree with that at all. I was just explaining from, and I just kind of gathered, I just kind of listened to Black Trump supporters speak, on YouTube and things. And, the way they feel, they just got, I just remember what they were saying. Again, those aren't my opinions. Like I said, I voted for Kamala myself.
You want to know something? Really, there's no such thing in our community as really a pure Trump supporter. They just like his ideas, because look at all these men that they say they support him, right? But yet they turn around and say they're pro-black.
Yeah.
Notice the hyperbole in that, because I mean, if there's been a president that has not had a problem showing that he does not really like us, I'm not going to say he's on the top of the list, but he's up there, right? So that's the weird thing. What it is that, especially in the red pill, what they thought is they were going to get control of, those men in the red pill thought they were going to get control of, per se, their women. And that's why I kind of thought it was a win-win for me, regardless if Kamala won or the orange guy won, because either a lesson will be learned and the manosphere will take a big hit, or Kamala was president. Because he ain't doing nothing he ain't going to do nothing for no red pill black men. He ain't going to do nothing for them. So it will take 4 years for them to learn that lesson. But I'll hunker down. I'll hunker down and hide for 4 years until they figure it out, and then maybe 3 years in, we'll figure out, who to vote for, because I don't think we've learned yet.
And this is another thing that, I don't think nobody listened to Trump. He said a lot of toxic things during his campaigning, throughout the states and all his rallies and all his things. And everybody is ignoring the fact that he said, you won't ever have to vote again. They are planning to throw out the Constitution and put in that Heritage 2025, whatever that is, and he will get to be because that's why he meets. If you check him out, he meets with Putin all the time, and he meets with the president of North Korea the head of North Korea. Those they get voted. Look, they get voted in, and they get to spend a lifetime. He's acquiesced unto them and made friends. They were supposed to be our enemies. Remember, he's not leaving. He's not leaving the office, and everybody, we got for you. The man said, all you got to do is vote for me this one time, and you don't have to worry about it no more. He said it several times. So why does everybody think he's leaving after 4 years?
Right. That's a good point. Actually, that's a very good retort. Because he almost pulled it off last time.
He sure did.
You know?
But I mean, he does have to go eventually. I mean, the man's what? He's what, 81? You know, he's gonna have to go eventually.
Yeah, no, he'll put one of his kids in charge.
Oh God.
He gonna put Elon in there.
That's probably what Elon was thinking before they started having their little rift.
He bought him. He bought him. He didn't have the money to sustain his campaigns and things like that. I mean, he still owes a lot of people throughout this country who supported his rallies, you know, and had him at their facilities, and they haven't paid those bills. I mean, this man is filthy. I mean, let Barack, he wore a tan suit and they're ready to throw him out. Look at all this. I mean, the psychology. This is what I'm saying. We need to pay attention to the psychology behind this. Why is this allowable? What is at the basis of this? Why this white supremacy thing is so? It just trumps out every bad thing this man does. It don't make no difference what he do, as long as he attached. That's one thing I can say. He might be dumb as a sixth grader on a whole lot of levels, but the smartest thing he did was attach white supremacy to his campaign. That man, he can do no wrong. He got judges. First time he put a whole bunch of judges in. That's why. And then he sat out. He didn't win that second time. Now he won out. The judges that he put in there are all in place. He can do no wrong. Everything will get thrown out. Everything. This was the most dangerous thing, to get him in there as the president right now. And then they voted, well, if he president, he can't do no wrong. And he got the whole Supreme. That was the most stupid thing, to actually elect and put him back in there for the people. Everything we won as the people, for the people, all those fights over all these years that incrementally, you know, brought our society. Man, people, everybody want to come here. Everybody in the United States was just that tough. Everybody's still just clamoring, trying to get here. All those things. Look, the Department of Education finna get knocked out. Kids don't go to school in India and them poor countries, and Africa and them poor countries. This and like, we had school built in. Now, look, they making us like a third world country. Because them Democrats never had did what we had said. Sound like some old broke slaves ringing a hat in their hand. Stop it. This is ridiculous. So we get to digress all the way back here because the Democrat didn't have did. This sounds so stupid. I hate every time I hear it. It pisses me off that we have to go back and deal with this racism and all this stuff now, because I know they didn't do right, like I said, but it was the lesser of two evils and people made the wrong choice.
Hey, do everybody see how serious our problem is, though? This is a black community in this country. This lesser of two evils. I've been hearing this for so long, and this is what I mean. Like, without self-determination, we had it before twice in this country. Both times was snuffed out by white people, and the second time we helped them do it because we wanted to integrate with them so bad because we all thought their ice was colder for the most part. The third time when this actually happens is not going to fail. And we finally going to see what it's like to have our own power, and the only people that's going to be at our table making decisions for us is us. But until then, we got to play with this. There's a third option. It ain't no lesser of two evils. It's a third option. It's the hard option.
What's
you
that?
know what I'm saying?
What's that? Because the media pumped only these two parties. You're right. We are independent. I understand. We are independent, all this stuff. But every time you watch the news, you notice they never mention the independent party. Listen, I noticed this before. I think it was a black lady who ran years ago. And I wish I was adept like that and I can tell you her name. But this is something that the main media does. They only pump the Democratic and the Republican parties. They don't do the Green Party, the Independent. They don't even say nothing. They don't give them airtime. They don't give them nothing because they know these two are under the auspices of the rich. You know what I mean? They're gonna do whatever the rich say. And we know that. Like I said, the whole big King Henry table, they got them great big turkey legs in their mouth. At least Democrats will throw a crumb in the corner. Republicans will kick you in your mouth until you get out the room. Which one you gonna pick? It's the lesser of two. Like I said, you said that. You said it's other options. At this point, you couldn't convince enough people. The psychology by not putting it on the news, by not putting that independent candidate on the, by not putting that Green Party candidate in the news, or even giving a voice. You can't say. I mean, people don't know that there was more than two options. They didn't know that.
I don't mean options as in running for president. I'm talking about options as us having our own determination of where our group goes. The president don't determine that, no matter who it is. And what I mean is, if you look at the Jewish community, the Asian community, the East Indian community, the Middle Eastern community, and now even the Latinos, the Latin Americans are stepping up big time, and then they beating their chest with it. They're not playing no more. You don't hear all that black and brown alliance like you used to, because the brown people is getting together on their own and saying, we got our own money, we got our own doctors, professors, engineers, we got our own neighborhoods, we can build our own sections in our own cities and expand and create villages and townships, and we got to be dealt with. Then we can have our own mayor, then we can sit at the power table for real. It ain't never been, think about this. There's never been a Jewish president in American history, right? Never been a Jewish president, yet they are one of the most powerful groups of people in this country. We don't need to have a black president in office, ran by black people to have power in this country. We just need to work together. That's the option outside of the lesser of two evils.
Exactly. And you know what? What party probably would have been easier to do all of that under? Besides the one who was raping us for all of our civil rights.
See, this is what I'm saying. No, listen. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. We have our issues as a group. It don't matter which party. They don't want black people to succeed on their own at all. It's not about the Republicans or the Democrats to let us do a little bit more. Neither of them want to see us do anything. We have they created a monster that they don't know how to deal with. They got 50
Why wouldn't
million
I operate under a system who would let me do a little bit more? Wouldn't it be a tiny bit easier? Even though it's gonna be hard under both.
No, I understand what you're saying.
If that makes sense.
No, I understand what you're saying, right? Okay, if it's a little bit easier under one party, but let's say what happens now happened and your party lost. It don't mean you just sit back for 4 years with your arms crossed and sleep and hibernate until the Democrats come back. You can't just rely on that because it's so much you can do without the federal government. The real power is in the local governments. There's so much you can do.
Now we going off task. I understand what you're
No,
saying. Now we breaking it down to the local level.
We're actually right on task.
Okay,
A lot of
but they run everything. They run from the top. They develop funding, everything that does everything at local levels. They have to petition and fund for that and ask the federal government for that. Okay, but if you got something at a federal government that's resistant of all those things, that's what you voted in. That does not make it easier for us.
What I'm saying is that, you're right. If you're relying on the government, the reason why
everybody was because they taking all our money. They taking 1/3 of us. When I go to work, they jacking me for 1/3 of the sweat and tears all off my back before my kids before I get anything. That's why. And then they take it from us and they're like, then they push out some crumbs. We're gonna do y'all roads and we're gonna here's your school. They still up there caking up off us bad. But at least the Democrats will say, they'll throw a crumb. Crumb. Here you go. Here's 2-3 crumbs. Republicans like, screw you all, you should get bootstraps. Okay, so they taking it all, taking the rights, everything. No, that's reverse discrimination. They taking everything. Come on, the Democrats play with you. They full of it too. Otherwise, there would have been large. I understand exactly what you're saying, but like I said, it is the lesser of two. At least that party would say, okay, here goes healthcare, this and that. Shut up, we raping you. Like I said, they gonna use Vaseline. The other ones is shot with sandpaper. You picking the sandpaper shot one for what? And we screwed either way. Stop it.
Okay, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm not talking about.
Okay, I'll be quiet. Go ahead.
No, I know. I'm not talking about just relying on the government. We can fund ourselves. That's what I'm saying. We got the extra money to do it. Yeah, we do. We can fund ourselves. It's 50 million of us. We make over $2 trillion in this country, even after the taxes and everything. We spend money more.
Did you vote for Trump? Just tell the truth. You voted for Trump?
Yeah, I voted for Trump.
There you go. Now I get it. I'm done.
Yeah, but what do that got to do with us not spending our money on nonsense and creating our own business in our own communities? We don't even own.
I need to say I'm vindicated straight up. Go ahead, tell yours.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that we the only group in this country who we don't spend our dollar amongst ourselves. Like as a Jewish people, they're not going to the government asking them for all of these stipends and stuff. They keep their money within themselves. They got their own banks. They loan to themselves. They build amongst their own people. They buy amongst themselves. That's why when you go to all the major cities, you got Little Italy, Little Chinatown, and they all live together and work with each other. Their money circulates in their community 10, 20 times before it leaves out their hands. As soon as we get paid, it's gone to a whole nother group of people.
This is a great discussion. Darnell, are you there? Darnell? I guess it's he dropped for a second.
Sorry about that, DJ. I didn't realize we was gonna be going off of.
Yeah, no, this is quite the debate. I'm so I want to give a shout out to Henry Mars in the house. Henry, we're having a conversation on politics and what to do next. But basically, what it sounds like to me, what you're saying, Deontay, is we shouldn't even focus on politics. We should focus on building our community within ourselves. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, we can focus on it's more the local government is what's more important to us, to most people. It's like I was visiting my cousin in New York. This was a few years ago. He moved to Brooklyn, and it's like 4 city blocks where he lives that's just all ran by these Jewish people. They got their own fire departments. They got their own banks down there, stores, everything. Now, obviously, they had to get everything coordinated from the government. You can't just open up a fire department or a police station. But once they did, everything in their town is there. They control 80% of the taxes that they tax people on. So they always got the streets or night, everything. They control the entire thing. And it's just like, we don't have anything like that. We did back in the day, the Black Wall Streets of America, and we were doing so well. We got enough money, doctors, engineers, we got enough professors, teachers. We have enough, lawyers, judges. We have everything it takes just in our own Black community to run an entire nation on our own without anybody else. And we haven't even tried to start a small city somewhere yet. And
I think it's because of people like Omar, who seem to be the type of person who would want to do that, but then we just find out that he's a carpetbagger.
Yeah, that's our problem. We got too many of those. Once we finally do get it, and it's not going to be all of us, man. It's going to be 1% to 2% of us in this country is going to actually get together and make it happen. But when it does, it's going to cause, what do they call that? A critical mass, right? where something small and it spreads. And then that'll be us. That'll be our revolution. And then we're gonna have to also, it's gonna be a big one, but we have to create a line bridge and a power base with the African continent. Because white people, just at the end of the day, the government, they're not gonna let you build a thriving empire in the middle of their country. You know, like you they just not. I don't care what anybody says. Like, you wouldn't invite somebody in your home and come back a month later and now they got more people living in your house than you do running your house.
Right.
Yeah. Then, like I said, we could do all of that. It don't matter who the president is, don't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. Like, you know, so
it's like whatever, you know. Yeah.
Because it doesn't affect it doesn't. Okay, you remember when Trump was in office and all those race riots were going on, and he kept asking the governors and the mayors if he could send in the National Guard, right? What? Why is the president asking for anything? He the president, just send them in, because the Constitution says that the cities have power over the state and the federal government over what happens in their city. So Trump can't just send people into a city without asking the mayor first. And he can't just send people into one of these states without asking the state first. Unless it was a law that was broken by somebody, then he can send in the feds. But if it's like riots and stuff going on that fall under the jurisdiction of the state, he can't do nothing unless they ask for help. And you saw that none of them was letting him in. So that shows you right there. You got power as a city and a state on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even villages and townships has their own power of what they do inside of their ordinances. Like, we can do this. They're doing it all over the place.
Indiana mom says, "This is what you voted for, Tyrone. Have a good 4 years and leave us the F alone. We see you now. You just outed yourself as an untrustworthy, greedy, and dumber than pocket lint." And I just wanted to repeat what she had to say.
Okay.
I didn't say that. She said that.
No, because here's the thing, like, we can go back and forth. See, and this is our problem. Like, we can go back and forth making fun of me over this nonsense. Like, this is
So you saying the Trump vote was in black people's best interest?
I said no. Trump was
it was in our best interest. That's a yes or no question.
It was to Trump voting for.
Blah, 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 blah. Can you say, please? I'm gonna beg you right now. Can you say yes or no? The Trump vote, your Trump vote, black people voting Trump was in black people's best interest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because we can break it down a million. No, we can break it down a million different ways. I bet. Hold on. I bet you. Hold on. There are black people in this country. Hold on. You can't just stop me from talking.
I know. I just said I'm done. I just said I'm done. That's all.
Okay.
Don't get so angry. Look at you. That's how y'all end up in a
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's let him talk.
Can't stop. I know. Go ahead. Cook. Jesus. What you cooking, though? Go ahead.
So there are black people in this country who have boys in their family that's between the age of 18 and 35 right now. And a lot of those boys are not the firstborn son, and they're not the only son. If we were to go to World War III, which we were on the direct path to because of the Democrats, because of what they were doing over in the Middle East with Israel and with Ukraine, they would have brought back the draft because we don't have enough military. So China has enough where they could send 150,000 soldiers to 20 different parts of the country. I'm sorry, 20 different parts of the earth at one time.
Don't want to answer for nothing. Don't want to answer for nothing. Responsible for nothing. This is our black man.
Am I not finished? No, I'm not. So, like I said, you will be sending, not you personally, but we'll be having our black boys drafted, fighting a war over nothing, by the way, over the US dollar versus gold. That's really what this is about, because of these crazy liberal Democrats who most of them are globalists.
But this fool starting wars. Stop it. Oh,
He's the Trump is negotiating, pulling out. When
they
Trump is
just
in
leak
office,
some stuff.
when
Man,
Trump is in
do
office,
you think never mind. Go ahead.
when Trump is in
I'm gonna
office,
block my mic.
when Trump got elected the first time, what did everybody say? I ain't gonna lie, even I said, because I didn't vote for him the first time in 16. Everybody was like, he's gonna start a war with China and Korea, and we all gonna go to war and die. And the complete opposite happened. Even the Middle East was at peace. Soon as Biden get in office, everything take off. Go ape shit, right? Trump has been in office 140-something days, and we already done pulled out. Wars are starting to cease. Negotiations are being written down. You don't want to go to war over nothing. It's not a good thing. People actually die. And these people are going to implement that draft because we have a drop in people who are signing up for the military.
Okay, can I clear some things up first, though? Actually, Trump, he's doing it now, and he did in his last soiree, was bombing the shit out of other countries in the first couple of months he was in. If you look back, when he started, the first time he had a president, there was a situation where we lost a lot of soldiers and technically accidentally put some people in the upper room that shouldn't have been in the upper room by accident with his aggressive stance towards war. So, and as far as the men coming home, that was already in the mix before he got into office. That was already on paper that was supposed to happen. In fact, they tried to pull some people out early, and at the time, the Democrats caught some flack because, some people got left, without cover. Though we were just kind of like, we stayed years over what we were supposed to stay, and we finally said, okay, that's enough. So the issue is that a lot of times, I don't know. I make it a point not to study politics anymore because it gives me a headache, and my health is more important than something I can't even change. But I just wanted to interject those things that it wasn't always peaches and creams. If you remember, if anything, when he was in office, a lot of Asian people were getting hurt more than usual when he came into office, and there was the hate crimes had increased, and unfortunately, our race of people, hate crimes increasing is not seen as a good thing. So I just wanted to interject that. Y'all can cook.
No, I agree with what you said, DJ. Listen, my thing with Trump is not that he's some kind of savior or anything. I didn't vote for Trump because I thought that he was going to save black people. Okay, but neither side's idea is to save black people. If the Democrats wanted to save black people, they'd have did it the day Martin Luther King got killed. They wouldn't have. Why do they keep waiting? What are they waiting on? First off, nobody should be having to save us.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry to interrupt, but let's define saving black people. Define what you mean that means in something tangible.
I don't even really know what black people want really from the government. They are getting it. You getting all the handouts for everything. A lot of black people are perpetuating on living off of the government. I mean, I don't know.
So have you watched the news? Have you watched the news?
My idea of what savior is can only come from us.
Okay.
And that is us being responsible for our own determination of our group. But we have a Messiah complex ever since slavery that some one person is going to come and save us. Somehow take us to a better type of living where all of us are making an exorbitant amount of money and the health is better and we're not shooting and killing each other.
That's not true. That's not true. What we fought for mostly is equal rights. If you're gonna don't do to me what you're not doing to other people. That's mostly what we have fought for. We ain't look for no Messiah. We like, look, back up off of us. Mostly when we had hoses and dogs and things like that. You like somebody, when nobody come like no Messiah, come save us like that. We was fighting for these things, and this is what we requested, and this is what we fought for all this time and got. You voted for somebody who wiped all those struggles out. And thinking, I mean, the justification that I'm listening to you bring, I'm wondering about, like I said, the psychology. I mean, I really hate them. They came out them Caucasus Mountains, but they are masters of psychology to hear. Listen, I have heard you on many a point. Now, I'm not done. And you just got through hollering about that a few minutes ago. Okay? Now, listening, I've heard you on several other points that I respect. So many times, like, okay, somebody, like, I think I even put it in the chat. Somebody good for DJ to talk to, blah, 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 this and that, and this and that. It's good to hear stimulating conversation. But to hear this, you're being against your race this bad and justify it with these things that you're justifying it with. And it's so weak, the argument. It just, and there's a lot of black men. I've watched the Red Pill. I didn't think that you would actually, your type is usually not over here. Where you can actually have decent dialogue and then flip out and be a Trump supporter. This is a shock to me. Okay? I'm not used to this. So I'm just trying to delve and see where you at, because we usually be on one accord for the most part over here. Usually we generally in the same area. Of course, we're different people, different upbringing, different experience, different. But to have actually a whole Trump supporter who is anti-black, they are anti-black. They have not made that. They have not denied. Now I'm not done. They have not denied that. We hate niggers. We had the Klan is all on them, all this stuff. For you to say, well, Democrats just ain't doing nothing, and make that a justifiable thing to go to people who hate us and are ripping away civil rights laws and everything black, DEI, screw black people, this and that. They're already incarcerating you, the highest incarcerating, even though white people make the bed. Everything against it, they are for tearing black people up. And you said, well, Democrat ain't here, did nothing. And that's your reason for going over there. And we're supposed to let y'all lead. We're supposed to be submissive to this. This is just what? Repeat it again, brother. I want some other women to hear it. Say it again. Say it again, please.
I don't even know what you wanted to say again. I'm just saying, you think that I'm anti-black.
More stuff that's against black people. Keep saying it.
I don't think he's anti-black. I just think he has a perspective.
If you voted for people that snatching away all of our civil rights, you are anti-black. You are anti-black. If they look at what they're doing, and they didn't make no mistake about what they were going to do. If you read that Heritage 2025, it was several vehicles. There's no way. And as aware as this brother saying, I'm really surprised. Now, it's some other dummy ones. I understand. This one, though, it sounds educated and all that stuff. For him not to know what the contents of Heritage 2025 was, this agenda, this plan against black people and everything that we stand for, to sit here and actually say that this was an informed position and actually throw a vote for Trump is against black people. That's what's against black. That's against black people. There's no other way you can explain that.
I don't appreciate the insults, first off, okay? All this dummy and all this stuff you sliding in there, you need to relax on that. I'm not disrespecting.
Okay, you ain't dumb. You so smart. You're very intelligent.
Listen to all the sarcasm too, because we've been talking. You've been on here with me before a few times. You heard me. You just said it yourself. We've never had no real issues at all. Even this conversation.
I feel like you cut my throat this time. That's why I know you actually cut my throat, so I'm offended.
And until you heard me say the words, I voted for Trump, you went completely blind, just deaf on me. You hadn't even listened to what I said. You act like I said I put on a KKK outfit, put on a flag that looked like the Confederate flag, and start flying in the air, clapping Trump's name across the sky. I did not say that or do that. I do not think Trump, I said it, I don't think he's some kind of savior for black people or nothing. But we do live in the United States. Okay, and what happens in this country overall affects us too. Y'all just brought up the Obama, whatever it was called, the Obamacare, right? Oh, he did not make Obamacare just for black people. He did that for all Americans who needed health care, right?
I know, but
and we all got it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I agree. Obamacare was a good thing. It's a lot of Republicans who thought that was bad. I thought Obamacare was a good thing. I still think it is.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what has Trump done better?
The biggest thing that Trump has done is keep us out of the foreign wars. I'm telling you, they want this. They've been wanting World War III since the 90s. You know they have, DJ. You've been. I mean,
I can't. The thing is this. Let's step back from the war thing. The reason why is because it's too complicated. We don't have enough information. We're not 4-star generals. We don't know what the tone was.
I know
you see what I'm saying? So
yeah, but it's about
focus on something that's tangible that we can look at, that we both can experience, and go from there. So what let's ignore the war thing, because we could go back and forth all night on that kind of thing, because not that you don't know or I don't know, it's we're not sure what really what the generals were ordered or not to do. And I know this for a fact because I come from a military family, is the war business is 24/7, 365 days a year, 50 years back. It's just the way it's just how we're built. That's what we do. It may not look like we are, but we are. So the question I have is what other than that part, than that debate, which can be its own debate, what did we gain? I remember, I'm going to put my little chip on the table and say, well, he didn't exactly handle the pandemic that great. So play a card back at me.
Okay, I mean, the pandemic, that's something that happens once every century. It happens like nobody could plan on that happening. I mean, the way it was handled, Trump handled the first year of it. Biden handled the last 2 years till it was over with. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to judge on that. Nobody prepares for that. You more prepared for war than you prepared.
Okay, where did the pandemic come from? What country did they say it came from?
Yeah, supposedly it come from Wuhan, from China. And I know the first time I heard of it was in October of 2019, and it got to America in January of 2020, and we declared it a national pandemic in March of 2020.
Okay, so did you know that we had people in that country and he got rid of them that handle specifically that? And I'm not saying they would have stopped it, but we probably would have gotten some better intel at the beginning. And he pulled those people out. Don't get me wrong. He didn't go, oh yeah, I'm going to start a pandemic. Let me pull these people. He didn't do that. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, nobody knew what this.
But you see my point.
No, I see what you're saying, but I'm saying, and you see mine too. Nobody knew what this was. Like, I remember when I was in high school, China had SARS that came out, which it's not pandemic. What is the name of the COVID? COVID is nothing but a advanced version of SARS. When you look at the actual name of it, it's called SARS virus COVID. So it's like, okay, they already had this stuff before over there. But what I mean is that I'm more looking at like the biggest thing is with Barack, not Barack, with Trump when he was in office. One, we were bringing back factories to America. The American companies didn't want to bring their factories back over here. So what he did was he incentivized Toyota and Kia and other manufacturers who sell to us. He said, "Listen, I'm going to raise taxes on y'all, or y'all bring y'all companies over here, the factories, and let our people work them over here, which will boost our economy. We have more money made in America, circulating in America. Then you sell to them directly." Like
Okay.
that. No, I'm saying.
Let me I'll throw out my cards. I think it was a good idea, but we from what I remember, and I might be wrong. Hey, Tiki, I think we lost more companies than we gained. What I mean is that for every one company that came back or came back a little bit, because trust me, they weren't gonna come back and lose all that overseas money. We would lose another company either to some other spot. I mean, right now, I don't see a change. I don't see the change there. I never saw the change.
But we didn't have inflation. That was why. I mean, I see it now. That's why we have the inflation, because when Biden came back in office, remember the Democrats, the liberals, it's a difference between them, but they tied together, right? Anyway, they were the ones who pushed NAFTA so hard. And that's what really gutted us out really bad in the 90s.
How did that get us out? I mean, please do explain.
That was the last one, where the last push where the major manufacturers in America were able to get out of here clean, move their factories, even if it was just something as simple as Mexico, or they moved it to Brazil, or they moved them straight over to China, especially where a lot of American jobs were lost, millions of them, and then you moving these people overseas. Now there's money that's not being made over here no more. You got people who don't have to go to college, and they were making high 5-figure, 6-figure salaries with no college degrees. Now their jobs are all gone, those manufacturing jobs. I don't care if it's the tires, whatever it was, the toys, the cars.
I don't have enough. Yeah, that's a good argument, because I don't have enough information on that.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
basically,
saying
from
that-
from my own experience, I've just seen that it's been. I mean, basically, the problem that a lot of people had with Biden is that it was stale. We weren't getting better, but we weren't getting worse. So, but stale is not good. People like to see. People like.
That's called
excitement.
Well, it's, and another thing, and like I was saying earlier to her, one of the reasons I voted for Trump was just personally because I am into certain things that first off, I day trade, I trade, sell stock, and also cryptocurrency. And you get these things called capital gains. And just personally, it's just cheaper. It don't matter who the Republican is, just, they usually cut capital gains, okay?
Okay.
And I would rather pay 38% of my money back than pay 50.
Okay, so I understand that. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'll forget what I'm about to say. That's good. I mean, basically, that's probably a more logical reason to say that you wanted to vote for him, but you have to understand that as White Seeking Knowledge, and this is confirmed, that the country usually overall, not just specific pockets of the country, financially do better under Democratic leaders. I'm not saying that they're peaches and cream, because obviously they weren't. Otherwise, they'd win every time, right? So, but for the most part, it's always been that if you look back, it's like Bush got us into messes. Somebody pulled us out of that. A Democrat pulled us out of that. If you remember, even Mr. Lewinsky, he pulled us out of something, and it's been that way. When Obama got the country, we were in a recession. He kind of pulled us out of that. So that would be my argument back to you is like, hey, historically, we do better under Democratic presidents, whether you hate their guts or not.
Yeah, and we focus too much on how we feel and like.
No, this is it's not about feeling or liking. That's why I said that. It's the numbers.
You
go,
hear that?
all
You
the-
hear that, DJ? That's why I'm on mute. Go ahead. Please tell him something.
But I mean, basically the thing is this. I'm trying to keep this simple because quite honestly, Why Seeking Knowledge has forgotten more than I know about politics. I can tell you that. But I am not defending Democrats. What I'm doing is I'm defending the stats. So let's ignore party names. If Amoeba X is giving us better results, better financial results, why would we vote for Amoeba Y? That's what I want somebody to really explain to me, because but any scientist is going to look. They're going to look at the dips and they're going to look at the peaks, and they're going to notice that, wait a minute, I didn't expect this to happen, but it looks like the X factor is doing better than the Y factor. So I don't know who's who. I don't know what party is who, but since my finances fit better into this Y factor, I'm going to go for the X factor. I'm going to go for them because they best benefit me. And I think the frustration that a lot of people have, whether they're, and I call it a lot of, especially in our community, party neutral people, is basically at the end of the day is what's in it for me. Now we go back to your thing. If it's in it for, if you are approaching your selection by how it affects you, that's a fair deal for you, but just that's for you. You have to understand that doesn't go for everybody else. And
I know that's the smallest part though. That's why I said that last. I didn't like that is the smallest part of it for me, was that's just something that I'm into. And it's not just me. I got a whole group of Black men that I work with, and this is what we do. It's 20 of us. So we all invest together. We all got small business. Like we just got things that we're doing, and we see that basically the red tape and the restrictions and all this other nonsense, it gets amped up when Democrats are in office.
But we remember when Trump tried the tariff thing last time, and it fell so far apart that he had to stop. Remember that on his last route? I mean, he's just starting it up right now, but remember last time?
Yeah, when he put the tariff, it's always like, look, I don't agree with the whole with using the tariffs as like a giant weapon like this, because it only works when you do it with certain countries. It'll work with every country, but like he said, at some point in the beginning, it's going to be hard, because it's like playing having these tariffs like this is almost like a lockout or a strike at a job.
You know what the sad part of this tariff thing is? We won't see a fucking dime from it. What I've seen is the gas go up.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm saying. What it is
it happened last time he did that.
It's like you playing. It's like a strike between a job and the employees. Only the difference is the people who feel it are the citizens. So as long as your citizens can handle high rises in prices, that the companies that are being all the tariff is just a tax.
Okay, but maybe you know better than me, or maybe Why Seeking Knowledge can chime in too. His last go around, what was the end result of his tariffs? Did they succeed or not?
I mean,
I don't even know what happened.
The man with all the answers, he knows that. That's why he voted for him probably
No,
again. So do you know what those things did? Because I was just reading something about these poor farmers and things like that, how we had to give them billions of dollars because they lost
that's right. I
soybean
forgot all about
contracts that
that.
got sold out to South America and all. No, the benefit. Let's let him. What's his name again? Come on, bring it. Your justification for killing our country and
Let me
killing the
pause for 1
best
second.
interests of
Why
our
Seeking
country
Knowledge
and
did
black
throw some.
people.
Why
Go ahead
Seeking
and
Knowledge
bring
just did throw some heavy cards on the table, because I do remember there was a situation where we had to subsidize the farmers for
Man, how
some
many
reason.
billions? I'm gonna look at that. Keep talking. Keep
And
talking.
it was
This
what was
person,
real
they
messed up
got
about
our
it.
black men. This is so sad.
That happened because of the tariffs. Because I thought the tariffs were leading into the election, the last year, which is when the pandemic hit and the George Floyd hit. I mean, everything just went out of control at that point. I'm talking about
And these white folk went running for they benefit, for they tax, for they who did you say to come save them? Oh, and in our farms, and they're doing it again, and they committing suicide.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
And what was funny,
They start committing
what was
suicide,
interesting.
waiting for somebody to come
Let me
save
interject real
them.
quick.
Why are you talking?
I remember.
Ain't nobody
Give me
paying
1 second.
attention to
Give me 1
this, man.
second.
It's not worth. I don't know if it's worth.
Okay, give me 1 second.
For the
I
children
do
on my
remember.
deathbed, man, because it might be worth more. Because it ain't going nowhere here. We got somebody. If our black men is really to this level where they so really out totally like this against our race with racists people who are blatant racists, hate black people. Look, came straight in the door, taking out anything that benefit us, and still licking nuts of them in dialogue between us like this. This is sad.
Right. Everybody look on the screen, because Henry just hit the point I was going for. I remember when that happened.
Thank you.
And that's what happened. So, and I guarantee you, a lot of those black farmers probably voted for him too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not saying that's. I guess that's what I'm not. I think the best result is that we just need I think really, quite honestly, the best suggestion is that Deontay's ideal about us being independent somehow.
Yeah, because look, DJ, I just need to say, because I gotta go. He's getting kind of late, and I gotta do something.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, but I just want to say we can hold a list as long as a God scroll up and compare back and forth which side did this and didn't do this. We all gonna find stuff that we agree with and disagree with. At least I do. You got these. When I come on here, there's a lot of things that I agree with people who I don't always agree with, right? But when you build this wall of, oh my God, Deontay said one thing I don't agree with, so everything else he's saying is just shit. You see what I'm saying? Like we never going to get anywhere like that. We never going to get anywhere like that. That's why black people now have a problem building stuff together, because a Christian and a Muslim can't even get along to build a building together. But anyway, I want to say good night to y'all, man. I gotta go. It was a good conversation, and hopefully I catch y'all next time. Next time, maybe we could just focus on Umar. You know what I'm saying? But
Sorry, Indiana mom, I ain't getting the ask because he don't wanna hear it. He finna get ready to go.
But the thing is that, believe it or not, that's why a lot of even employers do not like people talking about politics. It's a very heart trigger thing. I believe we'll be back to normal next time. I just let it ride tonight because why not? But
it just seemed hard to believe, after all that we've been through, that we would have different ideologies about this thing. I mean, if you actually were in school, I'm not done. Listen, wait a minute, can I finish? After we actually been in school, you know what I mean? We learned about civil rights. We seen the dogs. We've heard about the lynching. We seen them hanging in the air with their nuts cut off. And you know why they would do that? Let's just talk about that for a second. They would cut their nuts off and put their dicks in their mouth. You know why? Because in Deuteronomy, I forgot what chapter and stuff in there, If you cut him off, it says any man who is damaged in his testicles or his testes or whatever shall not enter the kingdom of God. So after they lynched him, beat him, hung him, all these things, they would cut that off to make sure God would never take him into heaven afterward. And you are voting for a party of people who believe this. And I don't care how you justify this. This makes no sense. Go research it yourself and see why they did that during lynching. You see why you see a whole bloody batch right around their crotch? That's why. And you're voting with these people.
And George
that's
Wallace,
unspeakable.
And George Wallace was a Democrat. And Joe Biden wrote the crime bill. He said that you would get lynched if you jaywalked. He said he didn't want his kids going to school with black kids like a jungle. And he told Charlemagne that if y'all don't vote for me, then you ain't really black. We can play this game all day. That's why I said
He changed his whole game. He changed his whole game around, turn around, be Democrat, win this stuff. He in his later years, he's sitting up there going to sleep most of the time. He wasn't even on anything. Did he enact anything like that? What you're talking about during that presidency? No, he didn't. He might have found it and said, well, shoot, I got to meet my maker soon. Let me back this up. You don't know what he did, but he wasn't doing it. But Trump ain't slowed down yet with his diapers and everything. He ain't slowed down. Nigger. Take the DEI. Take him. And you voted for him still. That does not justify. How can you go back to somebody for 20 years, 30 years ago, and then bring that and for somebody right now saying they're going to kill your nigga butt right now? Come on, now make the logic makes. Oh, we supposed to be submissive to what? To some intelligence. We want something we respect to be submissive to. And we cannot respect you going against our interests like this. And then we supposed to, okay, yes, who gonna do that? We are apparently the stronger force amongst black people, and y'all need to understand that.
Now you're right. You're much stronger than I am. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Thank you, DJ.
Okay, everybody. Thank you for coming through.
I'm sorry, that got me, DJ.
I understand. I mean, the thing was this: is I was like, it's politics. That's how I see it. It's a hot button item, and it's hard for. I understand everybody's point of view because it's. Excuse me.
Nobody likes us. I understand. Nobody. They don't let Democrats. They still pandering the rich and giving them. Why do you think our schools and stuff? Even when they in law, our kids don't have this and that. They doing the same thing. You think I don't understand it? Like I said, I made the analogy, and it's true. At least the Democrats, they'll be sitting at that big Henry table with that big turkey leg in their mouth, and they'll look over you whining in the corner. They'll shut up, and they'll throw 2 crumbs over there, and they'll keep eating at this huge table. That's what Democrats are. Republicans, they gonna kick you in the mouth. They get out of here, you little ugly dog, and they kick you out the room. Okay, that's the 2 choices we got. Which one you gonna pick, you dummy? Which one you gonna pick? That's what get me.
Right.
Neither one of them like us. I understand. At least one of them will pretend they do, and one of them tell you we hate your whole dirty guts. Now, which one you gonna pick? To me, I don't see why that doesn't make sense. But like I said, the patriarchy is the psychology. And that's what I think what got black men, because it was black men. Black women already know what side to be on. Like, okay, I got kids, they got to go to school. Now, he voted this, our children. If he has children, he got money for private school. They about to cut out the Department of Education because so many black women that came up in public school and went to college. Listen, so they so mad about this whole thing because black women have more degrees than anybody in the United States, white men, anybody, any other race. Black women got more degrees. So they so mad. They cutting out. They don't want you crawling up from nowhere. Yo, K1, K5, they cutting it all out to make sure you never make it on those levels. You'll be a perpetual slave. He voted for this. I cannot be his friend. I'm sorry if I don't sound friendly in this dialogue. I apologize. I apologize to everybody in the chat if I do sound, you know, a little, antagonized or whatever. But I do feel that you voted against our children now. Most of we can't afford public schools. Private schools. Our kids go to school. We be glad because then we go to work. We don't need a daycare. Listen, and we got to work to survive. This fool just voted against all that. I can't. Do you think he see this?
The thing is this. It seems like, no, I'm burnt out.
This is what I'm saying.
I go to sleep.
We black. I understand, and then I understand. I understand the Democrats. Neither one of them likes. I know this with my whole heart. Okay, but I'm gonna be smart and discerning at the same time. I had to see how to move. You know what I mean? You got to see how to move. Like, okay, they hate me over here or hate me over there. I'm gonna go this way. Yeah. You got to know which way to go. You can't just be all out done. But they had never did nothing for 10 years, and they had never did that. To hear our men, I'm supposed to, like I said, I'm supposed to be submissive to you. I'm supposed to be submissive to you. I would love a leader that I respect and has, be like, yes, and he's very discerning. Well, we can't go that way because that's wrong. And this is what I stand. Oh, submission gonna come. That's why they don't have submission, because they dumb like that. They do say, and I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say dumb. Let me say, they are challenged or they have different opinions that don't allow for us to do that. They don't allow for us to do that. They don't allow for us to do that. And then they have every excuse. Listen how they insult us. We have all these red pill sides because they listen, but look at what they acquiesce to is that. They are against, I think they gonna suck on the nuts of the patriarchy of the other people. And that's what they really basing their whole existence on, is essing on the patriarchy of those. They still want somebody under their foot. They're doing the same thing as them, and they're doing it to us. We are their slaves, and that's what they want. And that's why they siding with them no matter what they do. And this is sad. This is for Black people. If we don't learn how to be together as a team, we gonna need to be teamwork. We do need it. I don't agree with this. I don't need no man. I don't need no one. We need to stop this. We both need to get together as a team and pull out of this. We need them. They need us. We need each other. And that's just how I feel. Everybody can hate that if you feel like it. We do. But this kind of stuff, they need to get smarter than this. This is just, come on now. You sold us down the river for what? Did you go Naz grow an extra inch because you sided with the patriarchy, but you killed your race? You killed all your ancestors. You killed everything they marched with. You killed all the lynching victims. You killed, they flipping in their grave right now, knowing that you voted for that mess. And then you see how they just toss right over, just color right over it. Like, I can say these things and they just act like they totally, well, Democrat had did, and then did. It sounds so stupid. It's hard for me to take. It's very hard for me to take. Do you understand, DJ?
I understand your point of view. Yes, I definitely do.
Okay, I'm done. I'm hard. Sorry about that. Hey, chat. Hey, it seems like some of y'all understand me out there. This is going to be a hard, rough time. I don't think this guy's going to be done with his president. Y'all think 4 years, y'all need to quit saying it, because he said he was not done. He said you had to vote for me one time. He said it almost every rally he had. So I don't know where this is going from here, but we going to have to bind together. Our men, we can't afford for them to have this mentality. We cannot. They need to be purged out or something. We cannot. This is not going to be like Terminator. We're going to go in the mountains. We're going to train our kids. We're going to do some stuff. It's going to get serious, y'all. And we can't have this simple-mindedness this way. We're not going to survive it. They coming with this. Even they white people screaming. If white people screaming, we under, man, what they doing to us is way worse. So anyway, hey, I'm gonna dip out. DJ, thank you for having me. Sorry for extending the panel. But you have a good night. Look, hey, all of y'all, wish us all the best. We are in a duress situation. I hope all of us, you know what I mean, make it through this stuff. So I'm out. Peace.
Gotcha. Everybody give both Deontay and Yolondo's or Why Seeking Knowledge a huge hand of applause for their what turned out to be a pretty decent debate. A little bit fiery, a little bit, but a good debate. Something we need to think about. So, yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed this live stream. And this is DJ Torch. I think I'm gonna kick the beat out, and we'll call it a night. Hold on one second. Let's go with, why not? Like to give a shout out to Eden Adele who showed up. Great to see you. Indiana Mom, Miss Alto, Bridget. I gotta remember to put in this in the political section too, but that was a great. Hey, it was a fiery debate, but it was a good debate. Henry Mars in the house. Good seeing you, Henry. Oh, I can't forget about Darnell. Darnell stopped through for a minute. Tiki. Angela Reddick. New Diamond. Natural Under Pressure. Deontay Grant. Everyone, have a good night.
Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me. No. Cause I'm addicted to what you and I